get a
one
pack
battery.
of 4 for 99
But
cents.
you're missing the point.
No,
You're never gonna need to use a battery ever again.
I don't have the space to save all.
I'm sorry that you don't have any space in your place for 3 more AA batteries.
It starts with that. Then it's something else. Then it's something else.
You're the same guy who doesn't throw out a Christmas card from 20 years ago.
Then it's those are treasures.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
We're back with another season of the Spread Pick Show. If you missed the best quarterbacks last week, shame on you. It's up on the feed right now, video and pod. Smash like while you're here. Give me your favorite win total from the NFC, because that's what we're doing today to kick off the win totals. This is the appetizer. We got AFC coming next week. Then we're into week 1 somehow. Geoff Fienberg is on the line with me. Geoff, did you know this show is sponsored by Underdog? And you can use code Mayo at Underdog to get a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. Did you know that?
I do now, and this is just great news to be doing this show. Like, I get the feels like we are back. Football is back. Oh, smile on my face. I actually, to put a smile on someone else's face, I put on a sweatshirt this morning for the first time in months. It was a little chilly.
Too cold. Too cold for my liking. I need it to heat up a little bit. But you're not the only person who's back. Guess who else is back? The coin is back, making over/under picks with us in terms of win totals. All the win totals and odds today are brought to you by CoolBet.com. If you're in Canada, outside of Ontario, hit the description. Go sign up at CoolBet right now. You can still win a free trip to Cabot. For the Cabot Links and the Cabot Cliffs, that draw is coming about in a week and a half time, 10 days time. So go do that. And Geoff, the big one and done, or not one and done, the Survivor is happening. $50 to play, $150 max. I'm probably not going to max it out. But I'll probably have 5 teams in the Survivor this year. And you can join that down in the description. Do you know how much money is guaranteed to the winner?
$500,000.
That is correct. And if we can fill it up as quickly as possible, next year, maybe we get to the $1 million. You can do that down in the description right now. So please go join that now and then join it tomorrow. Tell some friends and join it 145 more times or however many times you want to join. It's only $50, $500K to the winner. NFC win totals, the coin, myself, Geoff Fienberg, and in studio with us, it is Tim Andergust.
Tim Andergust.
Not my name.
Heard it was.
Heard it wasn't.
Heard it was.
You have bad sources.
No. Inside sources are telling me this. We're starting with the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to start out west. Their win total this year is 8.5 wins. That is minus 110 to the over, plus 150 to make the playoffs, plus 475 to win the division, 20-1 to win the conference, 65-1 at CoolBet.com right now to win the Super Bowl, the Super Mario Brothers Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. That's my hot take for the show.
Oh, well, then we might as well just stop. Well, we can't go any better than that.
With their MVP candidate quarterback, according to you.
Any quarterback taken first overall in the draft with his level of skill set is a candidate before the season starts, sure.
But you were calling him an MVP candidate last season when he was playing.
Apparently, I don't remember this, but people say I did. So
Geoff, do you remember this?
He has been very, I don't remember it, but it sounds right. I'll leave it at that.
He said it the week before Arizona played the Jets. He was trying to build up Kyler, so when the Jets beat them, Tim's claim was going to be that they beat an MVP candidate.
It sounds like me.
It
I'm
does.
not saying it didn't happen. But
Do you like what they've done? Or where they're at? Because they feel like pretty much the same team.
I mean, yeah, I'm not super enthused. I mean, I certainly hope Marvin Harrison gets better this year. He was such a profound disappointment in 2024. People who liked Arizona a lot last year probably thought he was going to do well. In a division where there's just a lot of wins to be had, I don't like Arizona at this number at all. I would have them closer to 7 wins, maybe even 6. So I don't like them that much.
So you like the under.
I do.
And the coin also. You're just tailing the coin this year, I see. Just taking whatever the coin takes so you can be good. Geoff, do you like the over or the under on Arizona?
Okay, I like the over, but I got to get it out of the way right now. I am so freaking rattled. You guys will understand. The world out here doesn't. I have a flight on Thursday with this goddamn Air Canada. It's on strike. I can't get a hold of anyone. What a disaster. What a disaster. I thought for sure I'd just get a connector in like Atlanta or Chicago, and the only thing I'll lose out of this is a direct flight. Oh, no. To get to somewhere like Atlanta or Chicago right now out of Toronto, like a hub to get you other places, it's like $2,000. I'm losing my mind, but might be shocked. I support the worker. It's screwing me over right now, but I support the worker here.
Geoff,
I do. I'm in favor of labor and the Arizona Cardinals. This team last year had a gauntlet to start their season. Everyone that won a playoff game is essentially who Arizona played to start their season. They were behind the 8 ball instantly, couldn't recover. What did they do this offseason? They added all over defense. I like this team. I think Jonathan Gannon has the potential to be a really good coach. I think they could be in play to surprise a bit and win the division. I don't think, a team that won 8 last year to say they'll go over their number of 8.5 is that big of a reach. But I think the floor is pretty high here, and I got them going over and competing.
I think I'm going to go over too because I have 2 other unders in this division. Not to say they all can't go under. I mean, we've seen that happen with the NFC South a bunch of times, but I do like that they can use the tush push to their advantage. I believe that they run it at a more successful rate than the Eagles do. They just take Kyler off the field for it.
I certainly would. He's small and injury prone in that sense. I don't know. It's hard to get super excited about the Cardinals, but I mean, like we're like 2 minutes in, and like the Thanksgiving dinner that Geoff goes to is like 3 times the amount of the money that'll cost him for a different flight. And I guess we have to put the hat around for poor Geoff already.
Okay, shrapnel. And listen, if other people love me, that's their prerogative. This is my money. Those are 2 very distinctly different things, Tim. And no, they're not. Someone told you it's such a wrong number about a dinner I went to that it's now embarrassing to even discuss.
10K a plate dinner, Geoff, is what they call you.
No, you probably like not even. I'll get the exact number because even the real number, even if it's high, it is probably it's low enough to combat these egregious rumors.
Do you like the running back situation with the Cardinals? Because they didn't use your main man, Michael Carter, as much last year, but he's back.
I mean, I'm biased. I thought Michael Carter II was always a good running back. So I like him. I actually think Geoff makes a good point about Gannon, that he seemed to have done a pretty good job coaching last season. But in a division where I have 2 big overs, I have to...
2 big overs?
Yeah, I have to kind of play under somewhere.
Okay, well, I'm going the other way. So I think 9 wins, 10 wins. I could see the Cardinals sneaking out to that. Really, it depends on how it breaks for some of the other teams in this division. Do you like the plus 475, Geoff, for the division, or is that just a pass?
I haven't made a move there, but it's actually like pound for pound might be my value bet to win the division.
I'm going to underline that one because I do think that when we start going through all of the divisions, like where are some susceptible with longer odds? This one does seem kind of right to me because we'll go to the Rams. The Rams are next, and their win total is 9.5. The over is juiced to -145. Here's a fun thing. If you go under the PME exclusive boosts on CoolBet right now, you can get the under on the Rams 9.5 at +150 because I love the under on the Rams. The Stafford thing has me scared to death, whether he plays 17 games or not. And not to say that Jimmy G can't come in and be like serviceable, but it just worries me when you he was going to leave and go to the Giants or wherever the hell he was going to go. So they re-sign him and now he needs a backiotomy.
The last 2 seasons, the Rams have, outside of Cup, they actually had remarkably good injury luck.
Puka missed he went on IR last year.
Yeah,
and Stafford went on IR.
There were some issues with the receiving core, but like for a team that has such little depth, they were able to make it through last year and the year before that remarkably well. And I still don't think they have much depth. Way under. 6 wins, 7 wins as well.
Geoff.
I'm torn because when we got together last time to just do some, chatting, I am not rushing to pick on the Rams. I might be I'm not looking to back them. I almost feel bad for them because, I think we all agree they'd probably take the trade today. Jeez. I'm going to say under though, because when it starts this way, it doesn't get healthier. That being said, I'm giving myself a warning. I'll lose a shirt on Jimmy G, and not to try to I'll get killed if I pick on Jimmy G. I mean that. So I don't want to do that either. On a single game basis.
Well, we spoke about this we did a fantasy football rankings update show. We were trying to try to talk through Stafford that, yeah, maybe he'll play week 1. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll get injured in week 3. And then we see Jimmy G. Is there that big of a drop off? Yes, I think that there is. But is there that big of a drop off over injured Stafford rather than healthy Stafford? I guess that's the thing. If you just had Jimmy G playing all 17 games, they could win more than 9.5 games. I think it's more unlikely than not that they would. You're just out on Jimmy G, huh?
No, I mean, there's a reason that the Raiders could do nothing with him last year and to send him to the bench. Just finish. That's all.
He might be finished. He also may have just played for the Raiders.
Yeah. Okay. I got no confidence in him whatsoever. I don't have any confidence.
Bennett fan?
Not really. I'm not a big fan of anything that this team is doing right now. Plus, they need to rest up. They have a big game win week 1 next year against the Chargers in Melbourne. So they need to get healthy for week 1 of next year.
I'm going to pick under as well because if I'm forced to make the decision, it would be to pick on them because it's not Stafford. And if it's lingering now, how is it not a thing? How is this going to go away or are we ever going to get baseline Stafford this year? If I don't have to put money on it, I'm fully going to assume we won't.
I put money on the under, and the main reason that I did wasn't, again, it's not that I don't think they can go over the total, is that this line was set assuming everyone was healthy, and the line hasn't changed, and people are still betting the over, and things have changed for them. Now we know, again, they're coming into the season not completely healthy at the most important position, and to your point, they don't have a ton of depth. They do have a good coach, and that's why I'd be more okay with Jimmy G and more from a fantasy type thing that their offense will still run okay. Because I think that McVay can coach up Jimmy G to be competent in this offense, just like Kyle Shanahan was able to coach up Jimmy G. It's just when Jimmy G hasn't
years ago.
It was a long time ago. But I don't think that we can look at what he did with the Raiders in the worst possible situation and be like, everyone who played there sucked.
I mean, if that team is so bad, he shouldn't be losing his job as a quarterback. That's my opinion. For guys
I think that they were trying to look to say, hey, does these other guys have anything? Because it's not like they were keeping Jimmy G long term.
All right. I mean, you guys can continue to believe, and I respect that, but I'm not on that bus.
Geoff, do you think that Jimmy, you would bet on Jimmy for the first game that he played, but if he was their starter the rest of the season, what % of Stafford is Jimmy G at this point?
If it was official that it's Jimmy G and everyone panicked and wanted to pick on him and the win total tumbled, I would come in at the over. That's sort of what I mean.
Why?
Because I think people would overreact and I trust the offense and the coach and the parts. And I don't think Jimmy G is bottom barrel. Some people are going to rush to pick on him when it's officially Jimmy G. I agree with you. You picked on a number that's healthy Stafford. It seems unlikely we'll ever get that this year. And we could probably say that about a lot of quarterbacks come week 5. That's the nature of this thing. But going into it, I don't want to have money sitting. I don't want to have money sitting for months expecting the Rams to be great right now. I'll say that.
So everyone's on the under, coin included. So a round of unders on the Rams minus or 9.5 wins. Again, juiced up to plus 150 as a boost on coolbet.com right now for under the PME exclusive tab. Hit the description and go figure that out. Seattle Seahawks, their win total is exactly the same as the Cardinals. It is 8.5, yet the Cardinals were juiced to minus 110. The over on the Seahawks is juiced to plus 130. People love this under. I am in agreement with people. I really like the under on the Seahawks too, but you are shaking your head like a crazy person.
I guess no. This is a podcast. People can't
So-
hear me when I make hand gestures. I
You're
really like.
making face gestures and hand gestures at me.
I really like this Seattle team. I'm all in on Sam Darnold. I think he's going to have a very good year. I'm in on Mike McDonald. I think he's a good coach.
Why?
He's going to make this team as a playoff team.
What plus 165 to make the playoffs?
I love it.
Okay.
They almost made it last year. Like they were in the hunt.
They had a much better quarterback last year.
I don't agree. I don't agree that
That's-
I think the quarterback that went 14-3 last year and had fantastic numbers is probably better than Geno Smith, who we'll talk about the AFC show. I actually kind of like too, and I like that team too. But I look at the pieces for Seattle. I think they're undervalued. I think people are too distracted with the Rams and their pieces. They don't like the fact the Seahawks traded away Metcalf. But you know what? I still think there's a really strong core there in Seattle. And I like the quarterback position. I think Darnold has something to prove. If there's anybody in the NFL who ought to have something to really prove this year, it's kind of him. And I expect him to meet the moment. And so I would pick them to win between 10 and 11 games. And therefore, I'm taking the over.
It's a big over. Are you on board with the big over with Cust, Geoff?
Nope. I am not. I really impressed again. I know you might ask me for a reason why, Pat, but it's just like the eye test, the vibes test on the coach. Like I can't give you like a film example as to where he dominated. I'm not going to pretend to do that. Tim might. But like that coach, I feel is going to be like a pretty solid coach. But sort of like I'm worried about with my Chargers. Last year's overachieving, I think maybe there's a bit more reality here, and I don't see it as that much of a quarterback upgrade. And they've, cleared house in some skill positions. I'm not buying the Seahawks. I'm still on the under.
The biggest thing for me is we've taken Sam Darnold from a situation which was excellent with one of the better pass blocking O-lines in football. And when they got a little bit decimated later on in the season, they couldn't block for him anymore. All of a sudden, Sam Darnold turned back into Sam Darnold that we saw for the first 8 years of his career. He stopped looking like the Magic Man who was throwing to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and real receivers. You got JSN there. You got rid of Metcalf. You got your boy Bobo. You going to talk about Bobo?
I like Bobo.
I'm sure you do. But the Seattle pass blocking is horrendous. Good at run blocking, cannot protect their quarterback. If that's the case, it's just going to be pick city. But that's why Geno was more effective in this offense than Darnold's going to be.
I don't agree. I think it's going to be really good. I expect really good football to be played here.
Sounds like a bet we can make together. Let's see what the coin says. The coin says under. Coin only likes unders so far.
I just lean Arizona too.
That's fine. No, I respect that. I'm not like ardently upset about it. I have a couple of picks here.
I find it strange that you're just all in on the Seahawks.
Oh, you think I'm all in on the Seahawks? Just you wait.
49ers. The favorites to win this division at plus 150, minus 190 to make the playoffs. 10.5 is their win total. It has been bet to the over at minus 110. 10-1 to win the conference, 20-1 to win the Super Bowl. I like this team, but I will throw a word of caution right now. The healthiest guy on this offense is Christian McCaffrey at the moment.
Everything went badly in 2024. Everything, you name it, everything went sideways. And like this team still has a tremendous amount of skill all over the field. And I think Brock Purdy is the best quarterback in the division if Stafford's not 100%. I don't see San Francisco struggling 2 years in a row. I really think they are with the win total, there was 10.5. Give me the over. I think 12. I think 12-5 is a perfectly reasonable expectation for the skill level that this team has. So I like them. I like them quite a bit, actually.
So I'll go. I remember why now I did not love Arizona to win the division. It's that San Francisco strength of schedule. The easiest in the league. The only games they are projected to be underdogs in are essentially 1.5 point underdog at the Rams, 1.5 point underdog at Tampa. Those are the only games that they're projected to be an underdog in. Even if guys miss games, the schedule seems so easy with this coaching staff. Tim's boy, Salah back, that Brandon Staley bullshit on defense last year, assistant head coach defense. He's being replaced by Robert Saleh. That's probably one of the biggest non-coordinator upgrades in the league. Maybe Saleh is even the coordinator. I'm not sure. It's yeah, he is. So there, even better. I like Purdy. I know we debated it on the show last week, and you put me in the Herbert spot. We got some funny comments, so shout out to the listeners. But I'm still a big Purdy fan. Yeah, love the 49ers this year. No regression yet. Not this year.
I like the 49ers. I worry about, and maybe Shanahan is good enough to scheme up because they lost a lot of talent on offense. Like Ayuk's going to miss at least 6 weeks. Jennings is already hurt and holding out for a contract.
I think it'll work out. And Pearsall will be in with a full healthy season.
Well, he's Ricky Bullets. He got bullets in him.
Kittle started to play much better in the second half of last season when they really needed him.
Was Trent Williams no younger?
No, that's fair. But
and the defense wasn't good last year.
McCaffrey helped.
Just a new coordinator. All of a sudden, everything has changed.
Salah back does make a reasonable difference. I mean, Salah's one of the 3 or 4 best defensive coaches in the NFL. Having him back, I think, is a great addition.
But they lost Greenlaw. They lost a lot of good players.
You go through their schedule. They're scheduled for the first 2 months. There are not very many games on there. You go, oh, boy, that's a tough one. They start with the Seahawks. I think that's a relative. They start with the Seahawks. That's a toughish game. But they have I don't have much faith in the Bucs. That's the other tough game they have. And they have the Texans in the first half of the year. There's another team I'm not particularly fond of. There's just a lot of very winnable games in that first half stretch.
Yeah, the only really difficult, I'm trying to figure out the most difficult game that they have. Like if the Rams we think are down, because if the Rams are at full strength, that's a difficult game for them.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals generally play them tough even when the Cardinals are bad. And I think that they're better than the Seahawks. But a legitimately tough game, don't really have one the entire year.
Yeah, and their AFC opponent is the South, right?
Yeah. So none of the South teams are any good.
So it's all the more reason to be optimistic about. I think you should take 2 teams out of the NFC West to make the playoffs just for that reason alone, because of the soft schedule.
And they had, do you know who their random AFC crossover games against?
I don't.
The Browns.
There you have it. The worst team in the AFC, quite possibly.
I don't think that's the case. I'm actually I kind of like the Browns.
All right, well then the Dolphins, fine. One of the worst teams.
I mean, the Dolphins are better than the Jets. What are you talking about?
Trash.
I watched the Dolphins play on the weekend. Oh my God, Jeff. Did you see the Dolphins?
Let's just save AFC nonsense for the AFC.
Oh,
show,
Jeff,
I don't want to.
No, but we're not going to talk about week 2. It was a hinge game, I was told, for the Jets, and they were horrible. And then I saw the Dolphins, and if they just play like that the entire season, I think they're unstoppable.
The Dolphins, while not really paying much attention to the game, other than seeing that they won and kind of being happy for them, because Pat, I don't think any fan base is more distraught coming into the season than the Dolphins. And we'll get there. I'm sure Tim has quite a soliloquy for what he thinks they're in store for. But the ratio of negative stories coming out of Dolphins camp is 99.5 to a half.
Well, the positive story. What are the positive stories coming out of the Jets?
We're not talking about the Jets.
Yeah, but
we're talking about the
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
No, there's still good things like Aaron Glenn. No. It would not take me long on the internet to find nice Jet stories. There are some players people like, the new coach. I'm not saying they'll be right, but it is not hard for people to concoct them. When you try to find nice things about the Dolphins, it is almost like they don't exist. This is the worst practices ever. Holy shit.
That's a team that I want to be in on. I don't need the press to tell me that a quarterback who, one of the guys throws with his left hand and looks pretty good. Then you have a quarterback on the Jets who looks like he throws with his left hand. They're like, oh yeah, but outside of the games, he looks really good though.
No,
is sort of the feedback we're getting on Justin Fields.
Whatever.
I'm just saying, they all hit the coach, the GM, the roster construction. It is, yeah. My heavy algos right now are how screwed the Dolphins are, and how Vegas, no one goes to Vegas. That's what's taken over my algo.
Do you get negative Dolphin stuff on your TikTok algorithm?
Yes, I get a lot of negative Dolphin stuff.
because you click on it.
Oh yeah, and
And you watch it all.
I want to see more. I can see nothing but that. That makes me very happy.
Do you think that maybe your opinion may be skewed on this now?
It already was. Like I'm not here to say I'm an honest broker. I'm not. I hate that.
No, I think the fair and balanced world will pretty much, for the most part, confirm what I'm saying about how the internet is treating the Dolphins.
Sure, but I don't think the Dolphins are bad, is the weird thing. Like they feel like 7-10, 9-8, like somewhere in that range. I don't think they're abysmal. Like they're going to win 3 games or something.
I agree. I'm probably going to lean the over as the number crashes for next week, but we'll see.
Well, we got to make a pick of this division. I will go over the 10.5 for the Niners as well, just because I don't think the Seahawks are going to, like, by the Seahawks not being good, I mean like 7-10. Seems about right for them. And I like the Cardinals a little bit more than seemingly both you guys do. So I'm going to pick Arizona to win the division, though. At plus 475, I just really like that number.
I really like the Cardinals. On that note, Pat, like, because you just made that, I don't know the exact number, but I forgot to say it when we're doing the Cardinals. I don't mind. The numbers aren't fair. Like, you see what you have to get on Canales for Coach of the Year. Like, Gannon, Coach of the Year, if someone forced me into a Coach of the Year bet, that'd be on my short list.
Jonathan Winner, Gagnon.
Yeah.
Are you taking the Cardinals or the Niners to win the division then, Geoff?
I'm going to take the 49ers, but I'm on record as being if there's an open door in this division, I think Arizona is the one that takes it.
Tim?
I will join Jeffrey, but the Seahawks were a wild card.
And you like the plus 165 for the playoffs for the Seahawks?
I do indeed.
It's plus 150 for the Cardinals. Do you know who the favorite is in the Coach of the Year market, Tim? I know Geoff does.
Let me try to think here.
Do I know? No, off the top of my head, I don't actually.
Well, let's give it a go. Canales is 16-1. He is not the favorite. Your boy, Jonathan Gannon, is 14-1.
Oh, that's great. See, smart guys have already hit this thing.
It's not Dan Campbell. As long as it's not Dan Campbell, Geoff would be happy.
Dan Campbell is, where is Dan? See, this feels like the year, if the Lions are good again this year, like very good, now all the credit goes to Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Well, people actually give him credit. People love not giving him credit.
But now he's 22-1.
Okay. I mean, I hope he does.
Like, I think he opened last year at 4-1 or something like that. But the favorite, who are the 3 favorites? We haven't talked about them yet.
Is Sean Payton a favorite?
Sean Payton is 16-1, so no.
Sirianni?
No. Sirianni is, oh boy, I gotta go. 80-1.
Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson is second on the list. It's 7-1.
That makes sense.
What?
You have to think who was bad last season. The fellow who's coaching the Jaguars. His name escapes me.
Ice Cream Cohen?
Yeah. The coach of the Jaguars. He would be there.
Jeff's buddy, Liam Cohen?
Yeah. He would be up there.
He is. He's 12-1. He's third. You're missing number 1 on this list.
Oh,
former winner
Patriots coach.
What's that?
Vrabel.
Yeah, Vrabel 6 to 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bad teams that have decent coaches who people think will have a good year.
Aaron Glenn.
I would argue the favorite in this award might be the worst favorite ever. Like, this is sort of award like Brandon Staley, Rob Chajinski, who's the other? Freddie Kitchens. I meant to say Kitchens, not Chud. Like, some of the worst coaches have been favored for this award.
I don't think it's inconceivable that who ended up winning it last year?
Minnesota, no?
It was Kevin O'Connell. So he's not going to win back-to-back because I saw him at 45. I was like, they could be really good again. Kevin Stefanski, if there's any bet to make on the Browns, just bet him to win Coach of the Year for the 3rd time because he's a good coach. And they just announced Flacco as the starter.
You might as well pick Flacco as comeback player of the year again because he's once again coming back from irrelevancy then.
I don't think that counts this time, does it?
Who knows?
But either way, I feel like that would be the bet. If the Browns are like semi-decent, they're like, oh my God, look what Stefanski did. And here's the sneaky thing about the Browns. They can't be any worse at quarterback. It's impossible. They have to have upgraded with one of the 80 guys that they have. They're better than no arm Watson and real DTR.
Yeah.
Do you see DTR's pick?
No.
Geoff, did you?
Nope.
He threw it to the Browns in the preseason. It was not good. I think he forgot what team he was on.
Oh, dear.
Bad look. So Niners, and Arizona for me.
Fantasy football season is back with a vengeance. You can get yourself the best
tools possible this year. Be it for season long, DFS, or betting, whatever it is you need, you can get it at 4for4.com/Mayo. The most accurate projections and rankings in the business, 4 different levels. Code Mayo will get you 25% off everything. And you can upgrade just the classic season long, $39 a season. You can go monthly. That's going to cost you double. You should just buy it for the season. And then you get down to the betting package, $249 per season, minus 25%. For Code Mayo, you get the props, the sides, the total bets, the tackle props, the player prop tool, the betting Discord, the articles, and everything else included in every other package. Get on it now so you can win your league. 4for4.com/Mayo. Tim's pick to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl a year ago is up next in the NFC North. The Chicago Bears. The moment you gave up on Caleb Williams, he looked great.
I also would dispute whether I gave up on him. I believe I said, I still think he's good. I still hope he does really well. But my attention is turned to a new
You broke up with him for McCam Ward.
My attention has turned to a new project. I don't buy it. I don't buy the hype this year, though. I don't buy that Ben Johnson can solve all their problems, and I just don't. I think they can win 8 games.
Okay, so they're pretty close to the number then.
Yeah, like I think they can win 8 games. I think I'd probably pick them, and I'm going to take the under. I think they're going to go like 7-10. I think they could like show some growth, and in the next year or two, be ready to roll. But like I have 2 teams here with double-digit wins again, and so that means I can't take Chicago over.
I think that's the most compelling case here, Geoff, is that they still feel fourth of these teams unless Caleb makes a leap from year 1 to year 2, or simply that getting real coaches into the building might solve a lot of their problems.
I agree, but I don't have the optimism that some have. I just think that over 8.5, you have more optimism than I do.
This was their number last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And people were like, over, smash the over.
People seem to be quite excited about them again this year.
They are not. The over is juiced to plus 120. Most of the action here is on the under.
It ought to be.
Is that also in your algo?
No.
Negative bear,
no,
positive bear stories?
I got nothing for or against Chicago. I hope Caleb Williams does well.
I've already got a bet, actually. I've got the Vikings at a pick'em week 1. Beat the Bears.
I think that's a good decision.
That's a pick'em?
Well, it was when I bet it.
What is that line now?
I don't know.
Where's the game? At
1 or 2
or
points
in Chicago?
I think it's in Chicago. I think it's Monday night.
If it
is Monday night. You're right.
If it was a pick'em, it would have to be in Chicago.
Yeah, of course it would.
I mean, there's a chance that the Vikings are very, very good, or JJ McCarthy stinks and they're really, really bad.
We'll come on to that, won't we?
We're going to get there because a friend of the network, I think, is good. Thor. I think Thor has solely responsible for what's happened on the internet, and credit. That's a credit to him. It's not an insult, but people think this guy's the second coming.
This happens a lot with. It's like if the Bills have a new young receiver, like, oh my God, this guy. I mean, the only guy that they didn't do this to in Buffalo over the past 25 years was Josh Allen. They're like, this guy stinks. But no, JP Losman, he's the future. Trent Edwards, watch out for him. I've just seen this so many times with.
Don't forget these Manuel.
Yeah, these historic loser franchises.
Minnesota's a different type of loser franchise, though. They've had sustained playoff
I
appearances
feel
and opportunities, and they've had superstar players.
The Bills made 4 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, they did.
And they've won the division now 5 years in a row.
A million years ago.
You're
talking about when Josh Allen was coming onto the scene, where the Buffalo had done nothing.
Nothing. They had been
in years.
True, but the Vikings haven't been to a Super Bowl since the 70s.
No, but I'm saying the context in which Buffalo wasn't getting excited is much different than the Vikings right now, where they've had sustained over the last 15 years frequent playoff appearances, NFC Championship appearances, stuff like that.
Outside of the Favre year, what other year did they make the NFC?
year the Eagles crushed them in the NFC Championship game, the year that we went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was not close.
What's his name was the quarterback for them? Number 7.
Pat. They have been doing it in Buffalo pretty much since Jim Kelly retired. This is kind of weird and embarrassing, but you mentioned it, so it took my brain right to this place. I was at an overnight camp in the mid 90s, and I
With
had a
Liam Cohen.
counselor who loved the Buffalo Bills. And like before the guy ever played a game, they had a life-size poster of Todd Collins, a second round pick. And this guy was it was going to be seamless. Jim Kelly, Todd Collins, game over for the rest of the division.
And I'm not going to make fun because this is where Geoff got all of his bunk bed experience. So it was a valuable time.
It was. He put that to use. I mean, you know what? At least he has alarm clock etiquette when staying in other.
They've already been told this weekend I'm not allowed to set any alarms.
Yeah, Tim has to share a room this weekend. I mean, people are watching this on Thursday. That's the day that we're going to our big Ryder Cup to play. Me and another friend, Geoff, we got our own cabin with private rooms.
Listen, I would have bunked with Tim, but I heard he's just like a really loud snorer.
Oh,
So
the last time
I didn't know I'd get shook by an alarm clock that was like 14 feet from his bed.
That he didn't even get up for.
I got up
to turn it off and go back to bed.
Correct. I already expressed that if I could go back in time, I would do that differently.
I shared a room with Tim 3 years ago on this trip, which meant I slept on the couch.
Sorry.
You did the same thing last
It
year?
happened to him last year. He had to leave the room. I felt terrible.
Was it loud?
Yeah.
It's like a lawnmower.
I felt terrible. I apologize for all of my several shortcomings.
No, listen, it's a great plan on your part. You get the room to yourself.
I don't really want the room to myself, though.
Oh, you want to sleep with Jared?
No, I just don't want to have to be the person who needs to. I don't want to have to be the person who needs to have his own room because he has problems. Like that to me is judgmental, and I don't like it.
Well, that means you have to room with the other person who's driving up with you because he like grinds his teeth like this.
Yeah, he has some other issues like with his jaw. That's not his fault.
He could wear a mouth guard and solve a lot of these problems.
Leave him be. He's doing his best.
He's not. He could wear a mouth
He's
guard.
doing
Is
his
Case
best.
Keenum who you were referencing?
Yes, Case Keenum. That is precisely. He was their quarterback when they went to the championship.
He was on the case.
Yeah, he was.
So we're talking about the Bears. We'll get to the Vikings in a minute.
That's how boring it is to talk about the Bears.
I don't know. It's the Bears they're a real hinge team this year. Their defense was better than I thought it was going to be a year ago.
Yeah, it did play well.
They lost 10 games in a row. They probably don't do that again. And they were stunted on offense. And part of that was Caleb Williams. Part of that was the offensive line not being able to block. DeAndre Swift for like half the year averaging 2.5 yards a carry, then being good towards the end of the season. And it's another year of Roma Dunze. They drafted, they got Luther Burden now. They have an elite tight end, apparently, who can't get past Colt Kmet. DJ Moore is still there. And if Ben Johnson's really a good coach who can figure out offense, it should help with a guy who, I mean, by your definition, Caleb Williams is an MVP candidate.
I mean,
he was picked first overall.
They spent a lot of money on the like the first thing Ben Johnson did was like fortify parts of the O-line.
And that's what they did in Detroit. Before they got good, they spent on the O-line, they spent on the D-line, and then you could get away with Jared Goff as your quarterback.
I'm not saying anything you've said is incorrect. I think you make a very strong case. It happens that Chicago is in the north and not in the south, and that makes a big difference in terms of like where I have to project them with wins. That's all.
What division does the North play as a crossover, Geoff? Do you know?
Looks like they play the East. I see everyone from the East on their schedule.
The NFC East?
Yeah.
That's good because that division stinks outside of the Eagles.
Well, I mean, the two teams in that division played the championship game last year.
And one of your biggest takes on the show is going to be Commanders under. So would you like to rephrase that?
No, but I'm saying like the Commanders are going to be very well considered as a team going into this year.
Sure. Listen, I would rank Washington ahead of Chicago coming into the season, but I don't think like they're that far. Like the Eagles are way above.
They do have a very hard schedule, though.
That's bad.
According to strength of schedule.
So the other crossover is with the AFC North then?
I think so.
Yeah, that's bad.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's not going to be pleasant. And their other crossover game because of where they finished last year in the division is the Niners.
Oops.
All right,
Yes.
Good enough to go under for me.
Yeah, I'm under too.
I tried to make the case. That's a round of unders from everyone on the Bears. I wouldn't be surprised if they were good, though.
No, I wouldn't be surprised either because they have a good coach potentially and a good quarterback potentially.
Because I could see
That's the recipe.
I could see all three of the next three teams being good, but I could see two of them being 7 and 10 too, if things fell up. Go
As
ahead.
much as I'm on the under, I actually believe this one. Like, if we get this one wrong, could get this one really wrong. Like, they could be awesome, maybe, but I'm not banking on it.
Packers are up next. 9.5 is their win total. It's juiced to the over at -120. They're -110 to make the playoffs, +250 to win the division, 10-1 to win the conference, 20-1 to win the Super Bowl. They drafted a receiver in the first round. That's always nice to have. Mr. Showers himself, the Golden. Love is got surgery on his non-throwing thumb, but he's been cleared to come back to practice. So we do have to remember that he missed a ton of time last year and basically blew his knee out on that Brazil field and then came back a lot sooner than I think the people thought he was going to, but he didn't play. Remember, I guess it was 2 years ago when Jordan Love looked awful for like the first 8 weeks of the season, and then he was awesome for the rest of the year. Where do you think the real guy is?
Somewhere in the middle.
But closer to which side?
Probably closer towards the good, but only slightly. This was of the 16 teams in the NFC. This is the hardest for me.
You hated them last year.
Yeah, and I still don't love them this year, but I guess I'll take the under.
Under 9.5.
Yeah, ever so slightly, but not with any conviction. It's only because I have relatively decent overs for the next two that I will take an under here.
The other two teams are more fun to talk about, Geoff. The Packers just really aren't. But how many wins do you think, like, versus generic head coach or even actively bad head coach, like we saw in Chicago last year, is Matt LaFleur worth? Because like, if you had to power rank Matt LaFleur, Geoff, where would he fall, do you think, on the best coaches? 6?
Yeah, just like fringe top 5. Fringe top 5. And, you know, there'd be people ahead of him that maybe were glad-handing for past accomplishments.
Like John Harbaugh, who I think is a good coach.
Yeah, or even like Sean Payton, who I, think is set up to have another great team and another great year. But yeah, if you wanted to, like, I wouldn't fight you so much that Matt LaFleur is better than John and, well, obviously Jim, because I have John ahead of Jim, but John and Sean Payton, who are probably in my top 5 when we did it a week ago. I wouldn't fight you on it. 10, like, really, I come right out at 10 wins. So I'm right on the line, and I'm going to take the over here with the Packers. I still do see ceiling potential to be one of the better teams in the NFC and the league, but that obviously totally hinges on Jordan Love going back to the player, that other half Jordan Love that Pat had spoken about.
See what the coin says. The coin has been under on every team so far. Maybe if I throw it like not like this, I throw it the other way. Maybe it'll give me an over. Nope, under. Another under. Hates the NFC. Gonna be all overs in the AFC for the coin. I will go under on the Packers. Wouldn't bet it.
Okay.
Would not bet the under.
No,
9.5.
I understand.
The Vikings. We've already talked a little bit about the Vikings. You're sold, Geoff. We know this on JJ McCarthy. Where do you stand on JJ McCarthy?
I'm not sold.
Oh, what? You're not?
I'm just saying, like, the internet is telling me he's amazing. Like Thor.
That's because you're only clicking on positive JJ McCarthy stories.
I don't know that, just like I don't know that positive Dolphin stories exist, I don't know that negative JJ McCarthy stories exist.
Except for the underscore Darnold.
Yes. Very not big fans of JJ McCarthy.
They're not.
On YouTube 5 days ago from Bootleg Football, Geoff, the Dolphins have quietly rebuilt their identity in a positive way. Miami Dolphins rebound big time in joint practice.
Oh my God. That tells you the depths to which they've sunk.
No, them having a good preseason, no one needed week 2 of the preseason to be good more than the Dolphins.
I don't think the preseason matters, man, at all.
I agree, but I'm on a show with a guy who called it a hinge game.
No, I didn't quite say that.
You did.
Tim,
I said it could potentially be one if one could be there, but it isn't. A lot of caveats there.
You take your like doctor, your doctor hat in political science, and you go full politics. Like you completely piss on and diminish the meaning of hinge game when you do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you disrespect the honor of hinge games.
Well, okay.
Is week 1 a hinge game?
Yes, of course it is. Because of the opponent.
And if you lose week 1, then week 2 is obviously a hinge game.
No, I think it could go really badly if they lose week 1. That's what makes it a hinge game. Like, I think if they are beaten by old man Aaron Rodgers, then that's trouble.
Did you see Tom Brady's quote about a statue?
Okay, Tom, rub it in.
Geoff, did you see it?
Yes, about the Jets.
Yeah.
He's waving to Jets fans leaving. Good for Tom.
Yeah,
Okay.
the statue isn't just for Patriots fans. It'll also give the Jets fans something to throw their beers at as they leave the stadium every year, probably in the second quarter.
It's Tom's career record against the Jets in the playoffs, 1-1. Anyway, okay.
So you're saying the Jets are
good
better
burn.
than Tom Brady?
Good burn.
Just saying, they played each other twice in the playoffs, both times in Foxborough, and the Jets won as often as the Patriots won. So, okay, I don't know why you want to take a shot at us compared to teams that you actually did dominate in the playoffs, or in the regular season. He was a significantly more successful quarterbacking against Buffalo, for example, than the Jets.
Yeah,
But
they're no fun to make fun
no,
of
because
anymore.
the Patriots,
because they're good now.
because the Patriots don't like the Jets. That's fine. I understand that.
Maybe Tom Brady just doesn't like you.
Well, he doesn't like Geoff. So if he doesn't like Geoff or me, he really doesn't like this show.
From The Athletic, Justin Fields will have to throw the ball. It would have been nice to see him do it this summer.
I kind of agree with that statement, but
This is all from Jets Reddit.
yeah, I it is a problem. We'll deal with it when the time comes.
So back to the Vikings. I don't know what
Under.
to make of the Vikings. You're going under?
Shocking. Yeah, I'm just
You're-
more lukewarm. I'm just more lukewarm on it.
Under from the coin again.
I think the first time in I can ever remember in doing the show where I've set a preseason under on the Vikings.
Yeah,
I love these guys.
Yeah, usually you go over and then you tell us that they're a sneaky team to win the NFC. And then you bet on them to win the NFC.
To go under, what you're saying is they're going to win 6 fewer games than last year. How many teams?
Let's say
How many teams lose 6 more games than the year before, or for that matter, win 6 more games than the year before? It doesn't happen very often. They could regress significantly and be 10-7 and still get you over.
Do you know who they played last year?
Off the top of my head, no.
Well, they played.
I'm looking at it. Everyone who was the dregs of the league ended up on their schedule last year.
Okay.
And they dummied them.
Well, 2 years ago, 3 years ago,
9.
the Vikings were 13-4, then went 7-10.
So that's a 6-game regression.
Yes.
So it can happen, but it doesn't happen very often. And what you're going to say is this team's going to do it twice in 4 years. I think that's pretty unlikely. A reasonable regression, like I said, would have them losing 4 more games and have them at 10-7. That still gets you over.
Additionally,
Do not bring this argument to Pizzola, by the way.
Well, I'm not on shows with Pizzola, so I guess I won't have that
so we have
opportunity.
to do the win totals draft.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, he made fun of my picks last year. I had a better year than he did.
No, but just your logic of last year's record relative to this year's win total being so off.
It's like a massive difference. Okay. I'm just saying, I think it's unlikely that that's going to happen. And so I think that they go 10-7 or 11-6, probably 10-7 to be safer on the safe side. And they make the over.
Previous to that, they won 13 times in 2017, then won 8 the following year because they had a tie.
They did. And they switched quarterbacks too.
From Keenum to
Whomever they started
Cousins.
that year. Cousins, yeah.
No, Cousins just played all year. They signed him.
Yeah.
Didn't switch quarterbacks.
17, they had Keenum, though.
Yeah, 17 they had Keenum. The year before that they had Bradford.
Yeah, that's
Bradford
right.
Bridgewater, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Or didn't they trade a first round?
Or second round pick because Bridgewater tore his Achilles or ACL in the preseason.
I'm the win total is juiced up -145 to the over. So people are with you that they like the over.
I like this team. I think this team's got a lot of talent. If you think Kevin O'Connell's a very good quarterback coach, look at 2 years ago, the absolute foolish dregs that they were, succeeding with a quarterback who can't find jobs to start in the NFL. He was winning, and they almost made the playoffs 2 years ago with people you've never heard of.
It's true,
So-
but part of the logic of taking the Bears under was this crossover schedule that they're playing. Minnesota also has to play all
McCarthy
these teams.
having a whole year, because he was injured, but having a whole year to actually learn on the bench could better be a blessing in disguise.
They also play
agree.
your mighty Seahawks. It's a crossover game for them.
Yeah. So, I think you have to say you either like the Vikings or you don't. And I like them.
I'm lukewarm on them. So I'm going to go under just because the odds are so much better for the under than the over. But I am going over on the Detroit Lions at
Good.
10.5 wins at plus 105. I think they're being weird. It's not that they're weirdly undervalued. They lost both coordinators. We saw what happened to the Eagles after going to, they lost in the Super Bowl. And then they lost both their coordinators, and they hired like Matt Patricia and some other goober. That didn't really work out so well, and they were not quite as good the next year. Then they get rid of those losers, get in real coaches. All of a sudden, they're great again. So I guess it really depends on, I don't even know who they hired. Who do they hire?
Their coordinators are John Morton on offense and Kelvin Shepard on defense. I assume those are promotions.
Like Johnny Morton, like the old Lions receiver, Johnny Morton?
I don't think so, but I can't speak to that.
John Morton. Yeah.
There's no reason to think that offense will take a step backwards.
I
Even losing
think
Ben
that
Johnson,
there is. I think that there is losing a coordinator is tough.
they just have too much talent everywhere, all over the field.
John Morton was a senior offensive assistant with Campbell and the Lions in 2022.
And
but most recently was with Denver, where he was the pass game coordinator.
they're aggressive. They don't back down. They don't buckle. And they also have something big time to prove after everything went so well and then just blew up astronomically in the divisional round. So, if you believe in teams taking steps forward, like the Lions didn't get as far in the playoffs last year as they did the year before that, but they showed they were a much better team in 2024 than they were in 2023. Now, they do seem poised to be right there with the Eagles, 1-1A, very little in between them in terms of skill. I'm going to take Detroit here with the over and definitely take Detroit for the division as well.
I can't believe that Vegas has a win total that's 5 games less than the amount of games the Lions won a year ago.
No, but if you were to take the under, that would be the argument you were making, and that does seem difficult to make.
I think we all might be in agreement here. I don't think the Roar is going anywhere. Lions are going to win their 11 or 12 games this year.
If this was any other franchise but the Lions, nobody would be worried about them. But it's the Detroit Lions, and that carries with them.
That's not
a
true.
gargantuan amount of baggage. If this were, I don't know, if this were the Houston Texans, if this were, the Indianapolis Colts, no one would feel this way. But it's the Lions, and their history is nothing but pure futility. That plays a factor on the people who are willing to say, oh, they missed their chance. People said last year they missed their chance and they gave away that huge lead in the championship game. And then they came back with 15 wins. Like there are doubters because of the loser DNA that franchise has. But all things are new now.
I don't think it's necessarily, I think there is a piece of that people expect something to go just like the Vikings, just like the Bills.
Browns, Jets. Yes.
The Browns and Jets are just, they're not even on the
But
same.
again, they have loser DNA. And
Yeah, but
they have badly.
They have sad loser DNA. The Browns and Jets do. The Vikings, Bills, and Lions have like fun loser DNA. Like
That Lions
Lions-
only recent. Oh, it's only recent. The Lions have been.
the Lions have to
playoffs
be in the
twice
sad
5 years.
loser.
For
The
years,
Chargers get to be in the fun. The Chargers get to be in the fun loser category
Correct.
because they've had like good quarterback play.
The Lions have been fun losers since Stafford was drafted by them.
I
They were
guess,
fun
yeah.
those years. They had Megatron and Stafford. They made the playoffs.
Yeah,
a
but
few
then there was like
times.
6 years
Megatron and
between-
Stafford was definitely fun losers.
They were-
Nandekong, like that was a fun loser.
Yeah, but there was year after year where they had Tim Boyle playing on
Well,
Thanksgiving.
I mean, now that's the Jets.
Yeah, well, we don't get to play on Thanksgiving.
Except it's like 7 years later. Black Friday he played.
Yeah, he did. They were pick 6 on a Hail Mary.
10.5. Sick. I guess the thing with the Lions here is I think the biggest downgrade is obviously if Ben Johnson is now second in coach of the year, like odds to start the season, and so much was attributed to him each of the past, I guess, 3 years. They spent all the money in the world to keep him last year, and he wouldn't go just take a random job. That a lot of their offense and a lot of what they can do. So it's one thing to be aggressive on fourth down. It's another thing to always get it on fourth down, which they're very good at doing. When you lose the architect of that,
Yeah.
I feel like then that's more of the concern than just them being general losers.
That's why they paid Dan Campbell a lot of money to pick the right person to come next. And you either trust his judgment or you don't. I think Dan Campbell has earned a tremendous amount of benefit of the doubt and a tremendous amount of credit from like the sort of almost kind of joke that it seemed like he was when he was hired and they gave game after game away in his first season. and like it seemed like it's such a ridiculous hire, to now we're like, he's one of the most formidable coaches in the NFL.
This
Better
year
than
can
anyone
do
we've
that.
mentioned so
this
far.
year can do that. If he can replace the two,
Yeah.
to Pat's point, and the coach of the year potential bet, that if no one truly wins the award, Campbell could get it on like a 5-year organizational achievement tie. Because if he does it with losing the coordinators to high profile head coaching situations, then he's almost like, I don't know what the word is, impunity, even without like a Super Bowl, like doing that in Detroit and like keeping the level at the level would feel like such an enormous accomplishment.
Yeah, it starts to put him
some
in the
ways.
pre-Super Bowl Andy Reid category.
How long does it go before he turns into Sean McDermott, though? A guy who's had nothing but success and everyone hates his guts.
Well, but again, the difference is I still don't think I understand what Sean McDermott's doing to make that team better. I know what Dan Campbell's doing to make that team better.
What's he
He's
doing?
implementing, real sabermetrics in terms of when to decide to go it on fourth down and show genuine aggression and not back down. Like his in-game decision making.
There's a lot more to coaching than
There's a
in-game
lot more
decisions.
than that.
So-
But his in-game decision making is giving the Lions a distinct advantage that few other teams have.
Agreed.
And so
To Pat's point, though,
that's how he's helping. McDermott's not doing that. McDermott's defense is giving up 5 million points in a playoff game when Josh Allen has 5 touchdowns. What's McDermott doing?
fair, but yeah, I mean, listen, NFL fans, they're crazy. And if you get bounced 3 straight years in the playoffs, like as a favorite, or not a favorite, but NFL fans might be like, do the Lions need a coach to get them over the top? I won't be one of those people, but yeah, if they lose again, especially as a favorite,
That would be
That'll be there.
crazy talk. Crazy
I agree.
talk.
I agree. I'm a huge fan. I'm picking over.
Are you picking them to win the division, though?
I'm going to get a little cranky and say Packers to their ceiling. Give me the Packers.
All right, I'm going to take the Lions. Don't know if I want to bet that at, what is this? Meyer plus 150 is not bad. 3-1 for the Vikings, plus 250 for the Packers, and 5-1 for the Bears. Wouldn't be surprised if the Bears won, though. I think all 4 of those teams are live.
I agree. I would not be shocked if.
But if the Bears win, they win at like 11-6, like one of those records. Like they're all kind of right around that ballpark,
Okay.
and they own a tiebreaker over something.
Hard to see them, like stretching a big lead out in that division, doesn't it? Anybody other than the Lions.
The Vikings
And even last year, the Lions couldn't. They won 15 games and they won the division by a game.
was the hinge for Dan Campbell, that Week 18 game against the Packers to bump Aaron Rodgers out of the playoffs. Is that when it all turned around for him?
Certainly that's probably is the key moment because it was on Sunday Night Football and the world saw it and the Lions had nothing to play for. And
Besides knocking out the Packers.
Yeah, but nothing to play for and showed up in the biggest moment on TV. Yeah, that definitely flipped the script. It had to have.
I mean, the Hardos were already betting him to win Coach of the Year before that, but like on a national stage, that was it for sure.
For over a century, Johnnie Walker has shared its bold spirit with the game of golf. Now, crafted with Devereux Golf, Johnnie Walker introduces the Johnnie Walker Blue Label-inspired Sunday Golf Bag, elevating the game with sleek design, blue label hues, and refined gold accents. Celebrate your hole-in-one with a premium Sunday bag crafted by Devereux Golf. Submit proof of your achievement to johnniewalker.com/blue-in-1. Please drink responsibly. Look, I don't bounce back exactly the way that I used to when I was 20 years old, and it used to be I can either have a great night or just have a struggle the next day. That is until I found pre-alcohol. The Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic Drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle the rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's a buildup of this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for the rough days after drinking. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly and you'll feel the best tomorrow. The final days of summer are here for you to enjoy. Whether you're heading to the beach, camping in the woods, or squeezing one last vacation road trip, do not forget to bring Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic Drink. Drink a pre-alcohol before drinking and enjoy every day of summer to the fullest. Go to zbiotics.com/PatMayo to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use Pat Mayo at checkout. ZBiotics is packed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, head to zbiotics.com/PatMayo and use code PatMayo at checkout for 15% off.
Well, that brings us to the midway point of the show, which means it's time for the first of many mini versions of Cust Corner.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner,
I think it's been occurring to me that there should be a store where you can buy singles of everything. How often does your TV remote not work and it's just one battery that's dead? I wish you could buy one AA battery, not 12. I wish that, maybe you're going to bake something and it calls for one egg. And I'm not going to go through maybe a dozen eggs. I wish I could go somewhere and buy an egg. I wish I could get a single slice of pizza the way I want it. I wish I could customize a piece of pizza, but just one piece the way I want it. I wish I could, if I needed a certain type of like brioche bread, I wish I could get a slice. On a separate note, they should also sell bread with the crust already cut off of it. Like they should have regular crusted
6-year-old.
They should have regular crusted bread, but they should also sell bread without the crust for the people who don't like crust. But that's a separate point. There should be a store where you can just, and the only thing you can buy is singles of stuff. If you want doubles, triples, huge amounts, Costco exists, grocery stores exist, Walmart exists. Go buy those things. Go buy them there. But there should be stores around where you can buy a single of just about anything you can name.
How much would you pay for a slice of bread?
I don't know, 30 cents, 40 cents.
It's going to be $2 at the
No,
store.
like a loaf of bread is like $3.
Yeah, if you want to buy a
So
single, it's going to
slice
cost you
should be
$2.
like 30 or 40 cents.
Oh
That's
my
not what it's going
god.
to cost.
I should be able to buy if I want.
How does this store stay in business?
Because obviously the margins are much higher on.
Yeah,
an
Pat,
item
the
than it is
margins
on
are
bulk.
so big where the store owner is just buying things from Costco and then selling them at like 15x
Sure.
price for lunatics like Tim.
$1 a
Oh,
slice.
this is one of your worst ideas ever.
No, people would love this.
This idea is very bad.
How many times have you
I'm with you on like the half type of things that you can buy a half loaf of bread. I mean, you can buy a 6-pack of eggs if you want to. That makes a bit more sense because the packaging for this stuff.
What
alone,
if I want one can of Budweiser? I can't buy one can. I have to buy a 6-pack.
That you actually can.
Not
do.
an individual 355 milliliter
Oh,
can. No, I can't.
You
Or a single bottle.
you
No,
can
I
buy
can't.
You can buy the King cans.
Yeah, you buy
I
the
don't
king
want, but maybe I don't want a king can. Maybe it's want a regular size can. I should be able to buy singles of just about anything.
Your level of entitlement, like
No,
you talking about this store, but it sounds so entitled. I don't know why, but like, I just want to buy one piece of gum. Get
You wanna
out
buy-
of here.
I want to buy one Sharpie, not a dozen. I want to buy
One
one
cigarette.
glue stick,
You
not
get
a
in
bunch
there
of
by
glue sticks.
one cig.
Well, you can buy a Lucy's at the head. Any good convenience
Can I
store,
buy
yeah.
a lighter that has one flick?
one flick?
That's a little
You can
different.
buy
Those are-
a match.
Not the things that are already sold in singles. There's already certain things that are already sold in singles. But like the things that are not, that it's like impossible to just buy
You
one
want a
of.
made-to-order single slice?
Yes, I do.
Why wouldn't you just get a little pizza?
Maybe I don't want all that crust. The ratio of crust to topping is way off on the personal pan pizza vis-a-vis a regular slice.
I once heard a
This
wise
course is
man.
embarrassing.
I once heard a wise man say, "Cust, crackers are a family food. Happy families. Maybe single people eat crackers. We don't know. Frankly, we don't want to know."
It's a market we could do without. It's a great idea. You just buy a single of anything.
No, the people
It's a
shopping
bad
at the
idea.
store would be the loneliest people on earth.
And you know what? Their money is as green as anybody else's.
Yeah, but it's not as much money. They're not spending as much money. That's why you'd have to charge $1 per a slice of
You
bread.
wouldn't have to charge that much.
You
could-
would. In order to stay in business, you would, because you have no one going there in the first place. And everyone who did, you basically have to rip them off and try to make money.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Tim,
they have
think
a right
about
to
it
make
this
money.
way. Think about it this way. Like that corner store, in New York, they'll call them bodegas. that literally do what I said. They just shop at like Costco, then charge you like 20x. This sort of store would have to charge you more than that type of store.
Whatever. Like, I'm just saying, it would be super convenient for me and for others like me who don't want to buy and end up buying way too much of something.
You've already done this. You've already done this grocery store version, and now you're just dumbing it down to batteries.
It's an example that I've been through. Like, my remote wasn't working.
You can buy 2 batteries.
But I didn't need 2 batteries.
The dollar store, you get a pack of 4 for 99 cents.
You're missing the point.
No,
you're never gonna need to use a battery ever again.
I don't have the space to save all.
I'm sorry that you don't have any space in your place for 3 more double A batteries.
It starts with that. Then it's something else. Then it's something else.
You're the same guy who doesn't throw out a Christmas card from 20 years ago.
Then it's those are treasures. But then there's all kinds of these things that I want just one of, and I can't have because because you get such a great deal. It goes back to that frustration I had at the gas station where I can't just buy a Monster Energy drink because it's as expensive as 2 Monster Energy drinks.
You can do what you want,
but I don't want to. I want one.
Then buy one.
And I can't be the only person out there who would like to have a battery or a slice of pizza or a glue stick or a marker or a pen.
A glue stick?
But just
fucking huff and glue?
No, but like, I'm just thinking multiplicity, or like there's all kinds of things that would be super convenient if I could just have one of. And there should be a store that tailors to people who would be willing to spend a little bit more just to have one of them.
You can't have everything. Do you want Costco lockers or do you want
I can't have, apparently
I can't have a society with all of it.
But apparently I can't have any of it.
You can go to Costco.
But then I can't have a storage locker to put anything.
Why don't you just rent a storage locker? If space is such a big problem for you, why don't you rent a storage locker? So in 30 years, when you forget to pay it and it becomes abandoned and it's on Storage Wars, it's the world's saddest storage locker.
Why don't you just buy someone's in your building?
No, I just want my own individual thing. Is it too much to ask?
Is it too much to ask that someone start an entire grocery store where they sell singles of things?
Well,
yes,
it wouldn't just be a grocery
that.
store. It would be a general store.
How big is it? It seems like it has everything there.
Well, you could order some things in advance, maybe through a catalog.
Through a catalog? So they're sending you. So the single serving store is now sending you the Sears catalog.
That would be nice.
And you're gonna it's my wish book. I can't wait to get a single slice of bread.
You know what? You make fun of me, but I actually think that would be nice.
Sears doesn't even exist anymore.
I know, but it would be nice to have a catalog where you could circle the things you wanted and send in.
But
Tim,
food.
I don't mean
a single serving of one of the food.
The food is more difficult. That you just sort of have to know.
What are some other single serving things that you would like besides batteries and glue sticks, apparently?
Or like I said, a pen or or tape.
Yeah, you can buy a single pen. They tend to be nice pens.
No, but I'm just talking about like a Bic. Or any like pizza.
What happened to the other Bic that you had?
I don't want all kinds.
Yeah, but what happened to the one that you would have previously been using?
It ran out.
Oh,
of ink.
Can I ask you a
maybe
question?
at some point you might need another one.
Yeah, but that's a then problem. I'll get to the other pen then.
You could really just plan ahead.
Packaged individually?
Yeah, how much is the packaging for this? Are they selling?
Or is it like I'm literally putting my hand into a carton of a dozen eggs to take out an egg? Or is it like a one egged package?
No, I guess it wouldn't be packaged. You could get it wrapped, but I guess I hadn't thought of the packaging.
Look at the slice of bread. Did they just open up a loaf of bread? You're like, what slice do you want?
Well, I would go in like the little baggies they put like sandwich meat in.
Well, now your cost is going way up on this stuff.
Cheap little plastic bags.
Can you buy one of those?
Society is not in a position to, no offense,
that's
to like support this lifestyle.
And what's that, Jeffrey?
Of a child.
I just mean like you're talking about me and the people like you. Like society is not equipped to support stores
with no crust bread that you can buy a Lucy of.
It would be nice to buy a slice of bread that had the crust.
Is it already pre-decrusted when you buy it, or does someone's grandma cut the crust off for you there?
It would be nice to be able to buy bread where the crust was already cut off. That would be nice.
Is that a big hassle in your life?
No, but I'm just saying it would be nice. It would be. I'd appreciate it.
Why don't you just open one of these stores for yourself? And only you can shop there.
No.
Because you know what? It only has one customer too.
Okay. Just trying to think of ways that things would be more convenient for people who don't need to buy.
No. You said for people. That is not the case. You were thinking about things that are more convenient for you.
Yeah, but I'm not alone in this.
Jared, you live by yourself now. Is this you big on buying a slice of bread?
Bad idea. Straight up, it's a bad idea. Also, bad for the environment, Tim. I'm very disappointed.
If I want one toaster strudel, I should be able to buy.
Very disappointed.
For example, that's a great. It occurred to me the other day. Like if you buy a box of 6 toaster strudels, I'm going to eat 6 toaster strudels. I don't want
That's
to
a
eat,
you problem.
but I don't want.
You can't handle yourself.
I would
Then
rather be able to buy one.
No,
of
you don't.
those.
You know what the answer is? Buy none.
I know, but I just want one.
But you don't want one. You want 6
Because there are 6.
no, it's
there.
not. You want 6.
If
of
I
them.
just bought one, I would satisfy my desire to have one, and there wouldn't be any others to have with it.
Tim,
It would.
I know people with drug problems. Okay, you know what they do? They buy one because they don't want to get back into the lifestyle. You know what happens? They call the guy again in like 2
Okay,
hours.
but this is much different.
The way you're talking about it doesn't sound like it.
It would be very convenient to be able to buy one of all kinds of things instead of having bulk around the house that never gets used or gets wasted.
It actually seemed, you know what? Convenient isn't the right word for this because it would be convenient to have it at home. Even if you threw it out, it would be more convenient to have it at home.
It's wasteful.
You just talked about all the packaging for the environment, which would be the most wasteful
Okay,
thing
but wasteful
ever
in a
on
different
it.
sense. Wasteful in the sense that I just don't need that much.
But you need more
No, I
because
don't.
you're going to have to go back the next day and buy something. You're going to go grocery shopping every day.
Well, no, this is for like when you're one-off spots. Like if I'm gonna bake a pie, I don't need as much
The
Crisco as I
only
would buy.
person that this store makes sense for is you and Morency, who
not
I
true.
worked with for almost a decade, and I only saw him make single-use food. Like his whole life was like single-usage food purpose.
I saw Morency's fridge one time. What do you think was in Morency's fridge?
I heard
Like
Cam
Otto's
talk
fridge?
about it. I've
that?
never
Is it
seen
like
an
Otto's
Orange
fridge?
Crush, right?
It-
Like
Yeah, it was like weird sodas and condiments. That was it.
Been there. Been there. It's just DC and condiments in my fridge. I've been there.
You could just use this as a chance to change your lifestyle.
I'm just saying it would be nice to have the option. That's all.
You know what I could also see is Cust walking around this store, picking up all his ingredients to make a sandwich. And then he comes out and he comes on this show and he says, so I walk around, it's like 10 minutes. All of a sudden I got ingredients for one sandwich. It takes me 2 minutes to eat it and then it's gone. I got nothing left for the rest of the week. That is what I can hear.
Well, that would be a fair. That'd be a fair criticism if that's what I would say. But it'd be nice to be able to buy singles of things where possible. One craft single, something like that. You can't buy one. You got to buy a whole pack of craft singles. But I don't want a dozen craft singles. I just want one. Can I just have one? No, can't. Have to buy 12.
Why don't you just go to like the deli where the cheeses are, get them to cut you off a slice and just buy that?
yeah.
Whatever. It's not what I want.
So because you have to talk to someone to do it?
No, it's just
Because you want to you want the worst possible type of cheese? That's what you want?
maybe I do.
You are I don't even think it's a secret how low you are.
I'm not.
It's incredible.
It's just that maybe that's what I want for something.
But it seems like everything that you want is like the lowest possible version of all
right.
this stuff.
Once again, everybody's always against me.
I just gave you an option to get a single slice of cheese and you passed on it because you want a fucking craft
Well,
single.
maybe that's not what I want. I want the craft single.
You just want a bunch of chemicals put together, not even real
That's a
cheese.
me problem.
Well, all of this is a you problem.
Nice to
You're the
have-
one who wants to buy a single fucking battery, you
That'd be
lunatic.
Very convenient.
I don't think that it would. If
Well,
one of your batteries is going out, chances are the other one's going to follow it pretty quickly. You probably need the two. Why wouldn't you just replace the two?
Where am I going? Then you open up the batteries and you have one out and one not out, and you put it in a drawer. and
Take
you
them
forget
both
you
out
have it.
fresh. You change them fresh. A pair. That's how it works. You
Seems
swap
pretty
them
easy.
out at the same time.
So now I'm throwing out a perfectly good battery.
No, when it's getting a little wonky, you flip them a few times, and then you finally make the move. I gotta switch these
That's
suckers.
not the approach.
That's
that I'm
it.
taking.
Yes, that's how it's done.
That's
no
how
one
I do it.
switches one.
That's how Geoff does it. Jared, do you do the same thing? Dayton? Yeah. You're 4-1 on the show.
All right, fine.
Apparently it never
I'm
occurred to
used
you to do
everyone
this.
being against me. That's
Do you have
okay.
like a tester? Do you have a battery tester where you can pull them out and see how much juice it has left to know which one's gotta go? What are you,
can
talking
play?
about?
Yes, you have.
So you
multiple-
spend time playing around with
Yes,
other batteries
because I have other remotes
to
and, like, can see which.
So
battery-
you're spending a ton of time doing this when you could just have the double switch and be done with it.
Just let me buy a single
Dollar
battery.
store
Why? Because you
sells
want to spend
4
more
for
time
$1.
fucking around with which one's the right battery? I thought
know.
this was about
For-
your convenience. You
I
said
know.
You said it would be efficient. This doesn't sound very fucking
It's
efficient.
efficient for me.
How?
Because it
Do
works
you not know what the word means or
It
how to put it
works
into practice?
for me. It doesn't have to work for you. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to buy the single battery. You can do what you're doing. They're still selling you your 12-pack of Duracells, but I want a single one. And why can't we both have what we want?
You want to spend time testing out to see which one of your batteries.
But I do that already.
Why? You could just replace the batteries.
I want to know which one's not working.
Why?
Because I want to know.
Why?
It's
I
4
wanna
for
know.
Throw them
$1.
fucking both out. Put in new ones. It works. Boom. You saved
Dollarama,
yourself
4 for
15 minutes.
$1. 4 for $1 at Dollarama. What are you doing?
Those aren't even the good batteries.
What?
Those aren't Duracell or Energizer.
What do you care?
I like the good ones.
Why?
I just trust the brand names are going to last longer, be more dependable than ones you've never heard of.
Is that why you like
No,
Kraft
they're like
singles? Because you've heard of
Panasonic or
Kraft
something.
other than
No.
a real piece of cheese?
No.
Do you
Oh no.
make nachos
Yeah.
by taking some like restaurant style tortillas, putting them on a little plate, and then putting Kraft singles over them and putting them into the microwave?
No, I do not.
Are you
I don't.
sure?
No, I don't.
Because you strike me as the
nachos-
type who
no.
might do like we were talking about some of the lowest things possible.
No.
That's low.
I buy the scoops and I individually dress each one.
Oh, look at that attention. Yeah. Look at that.
If I'm gonna make nachos, I actually make them so that every nacho. I hate when you make nachos and like the bottom half doesn't have enough stuff on it, and it's mostly just warm chips.
Which are nachos according to you, as per the
Yeah,
Custies.
but they're not as good as like the nachos that are loaded.
Which are
That's
also
why
not.
that's why there's nachos and there's fully loaded nachos.
There was
There's a
also the
distinction.
most controversial take, weirdly, that
I-
came out of the Custies
I
about how
realize that.
wrong you were.
Well, I
about
stand
that.
by it anyway. Am I not wrong that the bottom of the nachos don't seem to have as much stuff? The distribution is all off. If you individually dress each one, yes, it does take you longer, but it's a far more enjoyable eating experience.
I like the hodgepodge. It's like a game.
see, you're thinking about it in two different ways. You're thinking about nachos that you get at a restaurant that are like this big, and that's how it ends up being done. Like they layer it, but
Yeah.
at home, you're not making a fucking plate this
No, but even
size.
if you're still making a
That's
regular
right.
plate,
Yeah,
the one-
you're taking out the sheet, you're putting some parchment paper down so it doesn't stick to it. You lay out all of the chips flat, and then you just throw all the shit all over them.
Yeah.
Then like shred the cheese all over them. It's fine.
maybe I use more chips than that when I make the.
How many chips are you eating?
Like there's like a slight layer beneath the top layer.
You're just having a lot of chips.
And the point is, I just think I can control the distribution of each bite far more efficiently my way.
I like what everyone is saying here, to be honest.
Okay.
Jeff just likes
I like-
nachos.
Yeah, I like both ways.
I'm
Yeah.
just, if you wanted to become more efficient with it,
I'm
Don't-
not saying that my way is more efficient, but I'm saying that I think my end result is better on a whole.
what if you only liked one nacho? Could you buy those at your store?
I don't think you could buy.
Why not? I wanted a nacho. Why isn't it here? Imagine the types of people that would be in this store complaining that you didn't have one of what they wanted.
Yeah.
They'd be you, but with stuff that you don't like.
There would have to be some lines you'd have to draw. I'm not
Why?
sure. Well, you can't buy a grain of rice, for example.
Why not? I want a grain of rice.
That seems silly.
This
I
all
want
seems
one
silly,
piece of
Tim,
shredded cheese.
Yeah, that seems like
for
a
my
bit-
one nacho. I'm just trying to have one because if I have more than one, I'll want to
that's-
eat them
okay,
all.
Okay.
Like I just
that's
need
an
Parmesan
unfair
cheese.
analogy.
I just need Parmesan cheese for my one serving of spaghetti.
Yeah, but you can
Yeah.
buy that at the grocery store. The serving amount of pre-grated Parmesan cheese. That's not a problem.
Is that really a thing you can do?
Oh yeah, you like
I
the little
don't
tiny
think that
plastic-
is.
the little tiny clear plastic tubs that have like $3 worth of Parmesan cheese.
Yeah,
that are
that's
grated in
way
there.
more than one serving. That's
Not for Tim.
That's not one serving for me. I want to taste the cheese. I'm not just lightly dusting my spaghetti with it.
okay.
It all goes in.
Okay.
I just realized this is kind of bulk garden. Like you could get one grain of, you could get one almond.
The thing
if you
about
really
that
wanted
is
to.
that like people's hands.
That's what they're doing at your store. You just said that's what
Oh
they're doing
my
at your store.
God. What do you think your store would be?
you would be using like utensils. and
No,
stuff like
I'm
that.
in a hurry. I'm going to grab one.
You aren't. Someone at behind the counter is doing this for you.
Well, hold
And
on.
then
Everything
Tim-
is behind the. How inefficient is this fucking store that you have to
And
go to
your
the
store
counter
would have
to
to
get
have
one of
stuff like-
everything that you
It'd
want?
be like a jewelry counter where like someone's opening it
It's
up.
an
and they
entire
cut it off.
store.
Tim, you'd have to
No,
have
we're-
warning labels all over the store playing, please don't snack in the store eating your singles.
That's true. I would be.
Keep our
I would
prices
be like, oh,
low.
you're the one who loves free samples.
Yeah, but those are free samples.
Well, these are free too.
No, they're not.
I've had them. What are you gonna do? Charge me? I'm gonna walk out.
Tim, I could
Arrest
literally
me.
do
I
a
dare
lap
ya.
in your. I could do a lap in your store and get lunch and leave without
Yeah,
paying.
make a
what are we
sandwich. I'm
talking
okay
about?
Well, we know your history of stealing things at grocery stores, Jeff.
Oh,
I steal the bags.
I bought 2 bags the other day because, of course, I forget mine every single time.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of groceries. So I bought these 2 reusable bags. And all of them fit into one. But I'd already paid for 2 of them because I put them at the front. They scanned them. And I told the lady, I was like, look, I don't want you to. I was like, I only need one of these. I'm going to leave this one here. She's like, well, I already charged you for this. I was like, I understand that. That's okay. Just give it to the next person who needs it, like who forgets their bag.
Yeah.
Just give it to them. Pay it forward. I take one step the other way. She looks at the next person. Do you want a bag?
Oh.
I was like, no.
You know what you could have done is that usually most grocery stores have that bin where people will put groceries for people who are needy. You could have put it in that bin.
It's not a grocery. It's a bag.
Yeah, but it's a bag.
Can't eat a bag.
No, but it would be a bag.
Just
you
to
could use
remind
put those groceries in.
people. Just to remind people out there, I get back at Big Grocery. I walk into the store at still this grocery store. They have the bags at the front of like the checkout line. I go right to the bag, grab a bag, rip off the tag, toss that tag somewhere in the cereal aisle. I'm off. When I'm done, I'm back in line holding my bag as if I walked in the store with it. I don't give a shit.
And I'm the
I don't give a shit.
I'm more
gonna
on
go
his
there,
side.
buy groceries for a house of 5 people, and you're gonna make me pay for a bag? Shove it up your arse.
Just like when you go to Bulk Barn, like how much like candy are you eating in the aisles? Fuck off.
Zero. Well,
I probably eat like $20 worth of candy.
Zero.
Buy 2.
No, I don't.
Just like, yep, let's go.
No, never, ever, ever,
See,
ever.
you don't know how the rest of society operates.
I don't think that most people are thieves.
Jared, Bulk Barn.
I don't think I'm a thief when I'm spending over $50 in the store.
That doesn't justify breaking the rules.
Yes, it does.
If everybody
I'm from a
did what
time
you-
when that
Everyone is
shit was
doing it. That's the
free.
thing. You're not. You're the sucker here.
All right. Well, you know what? I sleep well at night knowing that I don't.
You don't. We talked
Abscond
about. We
with
talked about that
fuzzy
you don't
peaches.
sleep well.
Well, other people don't sleep well. Me, I sleep just fine. No, I don't. I wouldn't take like someone's
Oh,
cherry
if you
blast
saw
syrup.
Galen Weston, would you tell on him? Would you tell on me?
No, I wouldn't turn you in, but your conscience ought to be enough to incline you not to do that.
Everyone else is doing it. Might as well do it.
Bro,
Everyone
Are
else
you
jumped off a
kidding
bridge.
me?
Would you jump off a bridge too? I would not.
for
Well,
the
how high is
price
the
of
bridge?
Doritos,
You wouldn't
can
jump
give
off like
me
a 2-foot
bag.
bridge.
You justify yourself however you need to justify yourself. I'm
Hey,
not,
my-
and I'm not sitting in judgment of you.
Yeah, you are.
You
That's very
are.
clearly
Yes,
what you're doing.
you are.
You're like, I've never been to a candy store where there's bulk of candy
No,
and
I
never like
haven't.
sampled candy. Is it because you are afraid of stealing or you're afraid of germs?
I think, well, not only am I concerned about the germs, which is a real thing, just I was taught not to do that, and my conscience would bother me. Remember that episode of The Simpsons where Marge like wanted to be charged for one grape,
And they made fun of her.
but like she was being ethical.
And they were like, you're wasting our time.
I know, but I just
Everyone eats them.
go ahead, let everyone do what they're going to do. My conscience doesn't let me do it.
It's the germs.
That's a part of it
It's the
too.
germs.
I don't like the germ. People getting their hands in the candy and then, ugh.
But you scoop it and eat the candy.
I don't go to Bulk Barn very often for that exact reason. I like the sealed things and people haven't touched.
All right, that was good. Good start to the much better than your ground turkey. Just start off
Oh,
last.
my
Oh yeah, the
God.
infamous ground. I should. You know what? I wish I had started with.
I had ground turkey just
I
before you
wish.
got here.
Now that you say that, I didn't think of it. I should have started with.
Maybe
I
your
discovered
worst-
ground chicken, and I should have just gone about ground chicken. And see how
Maybe
it
your
worked out.
worst
Go to-
one ever.
You're berate. I know. Stop berating me.
Here's a tip: ground turkey is healthy.
I remember being on the golf course weeks after that, and someone being like, I have to can't tell you something about Tim. I couldn't wait. And they were just furious that you gave the season premiere to ground turkey.
Well, I hope I've made it up to that person.
Well, you can make it up to them by talking about the New York Giants. Their win total is 5.5. And to bet that over is plus 120. 9-1 to make the playoffs, 18-1 to win the division, 100-1 to win the conference. The Super Bowl is 200-1. Jeff, do they have some sort of like ridiculously hard schedule? Is that their thing this year?
They have the hardest schedule in the league.
Here's the thing. I don't care. I'm going over. 2 reasons. I think this defensive line is going to be a real problem. And I've seen enough bad teams win stupid games just by getting to the other team's quarterback. That's step one. Their quarterback situation has improved. Play Russell Wilson, play smoking darts out there, play Jameis. It doesn't matter. It's wildly better than it was any of the past 3 years.
I don't have a single disagreement with you.
I would just... I agree with you, Pat. I was actually going to come in here thinking maybe their star power in certain places is as good as better than any team in the league. But I would almost let Wilson and Winston take all the beatings this year. They play a gauntlet of great defenses, great defensive coordinators.
You know what? We look at this every single year. Oh, they have the hardest schedule. And then we look at someone like the Niners, or whatever teams, like, oh, the Vikings last year. Oh, yeah. They end up just playing all the crappy teams, half of who we thought were really good.
The Atlanta Falcons were supposed to have one of the easiest schedules in the league last year. They ended up having one of the hardest.
Yeah, because they're not good. So every game is hard for them.
They make games hard on themselves. I agree.
They played the Bucks, Panthers, and Saints 6 times.
Yes, but it seemed like outside of that, their projected win totals of their opponents was 20 over the projection. So they ended up actually, from expectation to what happened, it's just exactly what you're saying. That's all. It's making fun of the Falcons' low-hanging fruit. I'm not fighting.
But additionally, they beat the Eagles in week 2. Who were probably the team that had the most expected wins, over what they were probably at.
I'm so indecisive, and I don't actually care about this one. I'll pick the under.
I still like Brian Daboll too.
Brian Daboll revenge year?
I mean, not
Ozempic Daboll, though.
Not enough to solicit ownership of my favorite team to hire him, but nonetheless, I still think he's really good. And I still try. I know you did. I still trust him. I still think he's a pretty good quarterback coach. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Giants. They'll win 6-7 games.
Yeah, it feels like their defense is going to be good.
No, they're not going to be abysmal.
And the neighbors' injury stuff is starting to pile up, and that kind of scares me more than anything. That if they don't have him out there,
hurts.
Then I don't really know what their offense looks like. But if they can just take 5 steps and moonball it to neighbors, it sounds like a pretty good strategy.
Yeah.
They are going. Here's my prediction on the Giants. In the first 3 weeks of the season, between the at Washington, at Dallas, home to the Chiefs, they are going to knock people out of an eliminator somewhere. More than once this year.
I can see it.
Did they beat Seattle in Seattle last year? Because there was that weird fumble on the goal line that they returned for a touchdown.
I can't remember. That sounds right.
Dexter Lawrence was just dominant in one of those.
They beat the Patriots in the saddest game ever last year.
That's true. That was a sad game. So funny how the tables got turned on that. They had the saddest game ever. And I was trying to remember what some of the best regular season games of all time were. In that meaningless Patriots-Giants game to end the year.
Meaningless in one sense.
But just it didn't really mean anything in the undefeated in 2007? Yeah. In the undefeated year.
Yeah, no.
It was a great game.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game.
Philly, defending Super Bowl champs. Tush push, still a thing, so that's helpful to them, at least for this year. 11.5, which is even money to bet the over. People are leaning under on the 11.5
I
for the
want
Eagles.
to.
Minus 530 to make the playoffs, minus 165 to win the division, 3-1 to win the conference, plus 750 to win the Super Bowl. Over.
Yeah.
I love this over.
I want to take the under, but I can't make myself do it.
You can do whatever you like.
No, I like
Coin gives its 10th consecutive under. By the way.
I gotta take an over here. I don't love it because I don't particularly like the Eagles, but I can't deny how good they are. And how, I still, I we'll see, has Barkley at some point is just going to hit a wall, right? Like, is he going to be this amazing year after year after year?
Hey, I made this case about Derrick Henry on the fantasy ranking show, and people yelled at me. So.
I mean,
and Barkley's younger,
and it might not be this year. Like, it very well could. Well, he had missed at least one full season, basically. Like, he wasn't taking hits the way that Henry's taking hits. But
Henry missed half the season, 2 years
ago.
My
My point stands is that as much as you have to look for holes, and at some point, what am I doing here? I'm looking for reasons. Give them 12 wins.
And we're down on some of the other good teams in the NFC and specifically in this division anyway.
Yeah.
So
which we are. So yeah, we'll take the over. Kind of boring, but yeah.
Geoff?
Like you, Tim, I tried to find something, but it's just not there, and I'm not forcing it. Over.
Like what's the out here? Let's say Hurts gets hurt. Your boy, the Irish assassin, Tanner McKee, comes in.
I think he's pretty good. So that doesn't even like.
You know,
I think
the out-
Barkley like is not that good, and like
Yeah,
if they
that's
didn't
the
have
out.
him, I think that's it, right? If they didn't
Because
have
they're
him,
sorry.
I don't even know who you're talking about now because you guys both talked over each other.
Barkley.
That was
Barkley.
Tim can go.
If Will Shipley came in, they would be fine. They wouldn't be as like. Eventually, you start losing too many pieces. But if they started Will Shipley from day one and not Barkley, their win total wouldn't change.
They would not have gone to the Super Bowl last year.
Sure, that's last year. We're talking about this year.
Well, I think
I didn't mean to interrupt Tim there, but what I wanted to say is it's about Barkley because we've actually seen Hurts like have continued stretches of like pretty mediocre quarterback play. If Barkley got
in seasons where they won 11 games, by the way.
yes, if Barkley got hurt or significantly regressed, that could maybe expose that. That's you're asking me to find the path, and now I'm like trying to devil's advocate.
Sure, but is that the path to the under 11.5 wins, or is that the path that they don't go back to the Super Bowl? That I would agree with you on. Even if they didn't have, if they lost Barkley in week 8 for the year, and they had to play Shipley at running back, I think that their ceiling is destroyed in a big way. But they probably still get to over 11.5 wins. It would at least be a coin toss at that point.
I don't know. I think are still
they have also we mentioned that this whole division like has the full rank of top like hardest schedules.
Maybe that's not the case.
Certainly not week 1 for the Eagles.
Who do they play week 1?
Dallas.
Who are up next? 7.5 is their win total. Cool Bet has them at 75 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. I've seen them as low as I think 125 to 1 or something like that to win the Super Bowl. Plus 220 to make the playoffs, plus 750 to win the division, 35 to 1 to win the conference. As of this recording, Micah Parsons is not signed. But honestly, whether he plays or whether he doesn't, I think this is the real problem with Dallas is that their defense sucks. Their offense should be pretty good.
I mean, yes, we talked last week about Dak that maybe we still have some belief in him, and I do.
But you still have Lamb, and now you add Pickens to this mix, which is a huge upgrade than anything they've had as a secondary receiving option each of the past 4 years.
You know, things, and Geoff is right to note this, as caustic as the news coming out of Dolphins training camp has been, it's almost been as bad for Dallas. The news around Dallas is also really quite ugly and ought to be. I don't trust this team. I think this could go bad. I actually think this has a chance to be very combustible. Yeah, I'm going under. I actually think they'll finish last in the division.
So I actually really like this over. I think there's a decent buy low here. If Dak is healthy, this team will be fine, and they'll win their 8 or 9 games, maybe even a little more. The offensive line is better. I think this team competes for a wild card spot. I think like there is just a lot of down noise on Dallas. Maybe Tim's right with the Dolphins comp, and I think I'll come in on them with an over. But I like Dallas over the 7.5. It's one of my favorites. I shouldn't say that. I take that back. Take back that last line.
I like the over as well. And for the first time in 11 flips, the coin likes the over on. Who you got, Tim?
The Dallas Cowboys.
I think Dak's good. This is the case I was
he
trying to
is.
make on the quarterback show. I like him a lot. And I think with an additional weapon, and maybe you get something out of the tight end position. Maybe one of these running backs turns out to be fine. Again, they're going to have to play a lot of high-scoring games, and they are going to play high-scoring games, but I do trust them to score touchdowns. That if you start to play, you know who they're going to be a lot like? The Bengals from last year.
A worse version of them.
Sure, but they play in a worse conference.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't trust it. I think it's going to go bad.
The Commanders of Washington, the reigning rookie of the year. 9.5 wins is bet to -125, to the over. -145 to win the playoffs, plus 230 to win the division, 10 to 1 to win the conference, and 19 to 1 to win the Super Bowl for the Commandos. 9.5 is too much. I think this team is like they barely got in the playoffs last year. That game they won over Chicago on a Hail Mary. Like everything went right for Washington. And I don't necessarily think they're going to be bad. But it just they scream to me like the team that the stuff that went good for them last year just goes bad for them
the
this
Texans
year.
of last year.
Yeah, and they just win like 7 games or 8 games.
Yeah.
Then the year after they win like 12 or something.
They could even be a wild card team. I wouldn't put that past them.
Yeah.
But like 9 and 8, 8, 9.
10 and 7, 11 and 5.
Maybe.
But
I mean, look, Jaden Daniels seems like he's the real deal. So you can't be too down on that.
Yeah.
But I am going to shade to the under. Only because I think there's a little bit too much enthusiasm.
where are you at, Jeff? Because I'm reading the same tea
Getting
leaves. as
Debo doesn't help, by the way.
Debo does help because McLaurin's still holding out. It looks like he's going to be back. But
He helps for a quarter.
listen, with Debo had, it was either COVID or pneumonia last year. And he tried to play through
I
it.
know, but it's every year with him.
Sure, but even if you get half the season from him, it's a huge upgrade on anything they had. Anything they had.
I'm not too impressed.
You're still fucking fired up about Luke McCaffrey?
I'm just, I'm
You keeping him in our keeper league?
no.
So
But I don't know. It's better. The Niners are better for not having him, and the Commanders are no better for. It's like if people remember that episode of The Critic where Jay is
Yes,
driving the
they
helium
do.
truck, and he gets out of the helium truck, and then it floats. He was the thing keeping the helium truck on the ground. And Debo was sort of like keeping the 49ers from succeeding.
I don't think he was keeping them from succeeding because they were
Okay, but he gets out of the truck and then they float. The Niners will do great.
Well,
But,
they're also getting some guys back here now. But the biggest thing, I just think he adds another dimension to what they want to do. Like they are potentially trying to trade Brian Robinson because they don't feel they need him. Debo makes a lot of sense to me with Jaden Daniels, with the different things that he's able to do, both in the receiving game and in the running game, that he's just another option for misdirection, something they didn't have.
Okay.
I'm going to join the under party, and it's a lot of the same reasons. Success at quarterback in this league sometimes isn't linear. There can be some bumps, and I still think they'll be fine, and they're blessed to have this quarterback. But a couple things happened for them last year, which can easily regress. One is definitely regressing because it'd be impossible to have an easier schedule. By the end of it, they had the second easiest schedule in the league. It showed. But what this team did last year on fourth down, it's impossible to replicate. 20 of 23 conversions. By far, according to Clev TA Analytics, the highest single season conversion rate in NFL history of 15 attempts. And to go on, these were not 1 yard QB sneaks. They were 7 for 8 on fourth downs, needing 3+ yards. It's almost like impossible to think this can happen again. I got to just play the other side here. Much love to this franchise, though.
The coin's going over. Coin's now on an overheater. I didn't want to bring this up, but we have breaking news about a certain player in the NFL.
Okay.
It's Justin Herbert.
Oh, fuck.
He is now dating someone named Madison Beer, and she's super hot, and the internet is very excited for him. Do you know who Madison Beer is, Jeff? Because I had never heard of this person before.
Ask in a week, he'll have the complete biography for you.
Jared, this seems like more of your generation. Do you know who Madison Beer is?
Have heard of her. Not sure if Heather watches this show, but
Oh, it's a show.
like this Pat Mayo Experience show.
Oh.
She's an attractive woman, no doubt. You'd be a fool to say otherwise.
Madison Beer is an American singer and songwriter, and apparently an actress too.
So Justin's been
She is fucking hot.
he
Good
was,
for
he
him.
did this video
There are
of
naked pics of her. Naked.
he's deep into chess these days.
There's no naked pics of her on the internet. How is that possible? It's the internet. There's naked pics to Cust on the internet.
There is not.
Dongshots.com.
There is. There is.
Is that a real site? I don't want to type that one in.
Scare me like that.
What? I think this is good news.
I
It's like-
agree, but there was a lead in there that was just doom.
I mean,
Okay, good for
since
him.
Patrick Mahomes' wife has become like a big deal. I mean, the Chiefs haven't won the Super Bowl. His game's on the downturn.
Travis Kelsey's too.
Yeah. I'm pro Travis and Taylor, by the way.
Yeah, me too. Jeff isn't.
He-
Just because Jeff thinks she could do better.
What?
You just
Yeah,
think
she
do
could.
better.
She could do better, but I'm pro that.
What's better than Travis Kelsey? He's rich.
This is Jeff's
He's very
position, not
tall,
mine.
attractive man, and he seems cool as hell. I met him. I interviewed him. Nice guy. Yeah, do you think that Justin Herbert should be dating Taylor Swift? Like this
No, that
girl's
wouldn't
way
be
better
good.
looking.
That wouldn't be good
This
for
girl's
business.
way better looking than Taylor Swift. Oh no, they're gonna come for me now, aren't they?
You didn't learn from last year, did you?
Don't worry, you won't get Never mind.
All right, here's how you knew. Madison Beer and Annie, Cameron Dicker's girlfriend, are now following each other on Instagram.
Oh, well.
Is Justin Herbert best friends with the kicker, Jeff?
Nope.
You sure?
Yes.
Icy Vert on Twitter says, I always knew Justin Herbert was a big-time player. All caps.
Social media dog.
Good for them. Anyway, yeah, that's the Justin Herbert stuff. Who are we talking about? Washington?
West. We finished the division, so we can pick a
give our
winner.
picks.
Philly.
Eagles.
Eagles.
NFC South, the most profitable division for me over the past few years, thanks to my main men, the T-Bay Bucks. The Super Bucks, Jeff. They win the division every year, and everyone's like, nah, they're not good. But this year, will that be any different? We'll find out. The Saints are up first, though. 5.5. It's juiced to plus 130 for the over. This screams like, we play an alt 3.5 under? This team sucks.
I agree.
Like, what am I missing here?
Fuck this team.
I thought Jeff wasn't paying attention. He was looking for pictures about Justin Herbert. And then he
I'd play the three.
I wonder if Herbert's on there.
I've smashed the under 5.5. Fuck these guys. I hope they get mollywopped.
Oh, we know why, though.
Oh, they have Brandon Staley now. What a turnaround that would be. What if they pointed to him being the reason? What a genius.
What if he was
Yes, if
they played
no,
well,
my
he was
biggest
assistant
fear
coach of the year.
My biggest fear in football is that they're amazing. Their defense is awesome. And the quarterback they drafted in the second round, who was Justin Herbert's backup like 12 years ago, ends up being like amazing this year. But yeah, no, fuck these guys. We don't even need to waste a minute under.
They have the same. Sorry, that's wrong. They're plus 450 to make the playoffs. I just don't see the path where they're good because their defense isn't good.
No quarterback, no defense.
I mean, even if they get decent, respectable quarterback play, like whatever his name is better than we think that he is, or the Rattler ends up back in there. Still got nothing.
They got nothing. They got nothing.
Like, was this 5.5 just posted like, I don't know, 6 months ago, Jeff, and they just never adjusted it? They suggested the VIG?
Probably.
Like,
I mean, they were competitive against some really good teams last year late, but that's just me thinking those teams were like even.
You got to think they like to pick the over. You got to say they're going to go 3-3 in division. Because you don't think maybe Carolina or Atlanta or even Tampa that good. They could go 3-3 in division. Then you got to find 3 more wins on the schedule. I just think it's very difficult. You can always
they got one of
the
easiest. They got an easy schedule.
They should.
They play the South.
Yeah, they play the worst division and they play the losers of every division.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
like
they
if they
AFC
finished
East
7-10 because everybody in the South is awful. Okay, I guess that happens, but I just don't think you want to play that game.
The Panthers are at 6.5 now. They showed so much last year that they go up in win total now. Everyone's back in on the Panthers, juiced to plus 125, plus 255 to make the playoffs, plus 450 to win the division. Only 50 to 1 to win the conference. 125 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. Jeff, I feel like this is a smash over for you.
No, I'm not one of those people, but I'm like,
Smashing the over.
No. I can't trust them to that extent, but I'm one of these people that are encouraged about big potential gains this year. And I wasn't one of these like all in on them people last year. That's for sure. Did I like lose money on them week 9 as they gave up like a 50 burger to the Saints? Yes. But then I saw them play the Chargers week 2 and literally be the worst football team I ever witnessed. That being said, yeah, I'm gonna ride the Mo that they're doing it right there. This team's gonna make gains over.
The Browns are expected to carry 4 quarterbacks on their initial 53-man roster. They named Flacco the starter.
I saw that. It doesn't help them. None of them are any good.
Yeah, but none of them are like bad.
Yeah, but I think they are. Under on the Panthers. I don't see them getting to 7 wins. 6 wins, maybe. Not enough to like want to like that a strong pick, but under, because I'm going to take overs on the next 2.
So they remind me of the Dolphins from 15 years ago, where the Dolphins would suck at the beginning of every year. Then they win their final 4 games. And then going into the next year, here's the sleeper team.
I don't think anybody's big on Trey Young right now, though.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young's right. I don't think anybody's big on Bryce Young right now.
I would disagree with
Like
that.
they aren't. To the,
I don't
like last year they were ready to bury him at sea.
Yeah, but now
This year they're like, maybe he's like. No one's like, this guy has turned a corner. He's going to have a huge. See, I haven't heard anyone make that case.
But people think that this team is now being constructed in the right way. That it took a year. Bryce Young looks like he's not a disaster. He could be pretty good. Played really well down the stretch. In my face, I thought he was an absolute disaster.
Might still be.
He might still be. I'm actually going to go over on the Panthers, Jeff.
I'm a little shocked because you set that up a little strange, but I agree with everything you sort of said as to seems like they're being constructed properly. If he isn't dog shit, they're kind of fine. They showed late last year they really can score points, and they might be in a lot of shootouts this year.
And they're getting healthier on defense. Like I think they had 3 guys who were out for the year last year are now back. They make some decent picks. They get what is to be considered maybe the best wide receiver in the draft.
Probably
is now on the team. So, and they got Chuba Hubbard. He's great.
See lots of highlights of him on TV.
Yeah,
can't wait. We're only a couple weeks away from NFL Canada commercials.
I wonder who the new Canadian player, Chase Brown, and Chuba.
Still Saint-Just.
Saint-Just isn't even on Washington anymore.
I would hope not.
He's a Charger.
Oh my God, really?
Jeff, he is the worst.
But we lost Josh
in the
Palmer.
NFL.
We lost Josh Palmer.
He is the worst cornerback in the NFL.
I would rather have
Josh here on the internet.
I would rather have Josh Palmer on my team than Saint-Just.
Oh, 1,000 times out of 1,000.
Well, we'll see, because Jesse Minner took a lot of scrub corners last year and made them play good.
He watched so.
I agree. I'm not
many
vouching
games.
for the guy. I've heard this all summer. I'm not vouching for the guy.
If you told me I could have Saint-Just or Jeff Fienberg, a cornerback, I might take Jeff Fienberg.
He does have bunk bed experience,
which is more than Saint-Just has. Which has
I've had a ruptured patella in the last couple years.
What's that?
I've had a ruptured patella in the last couple years.
That's all right. You're coming around.
You've rehabbed it now. You're good.
Yeah,
better than Saint-Just. Get you on one of those Canadian commercials.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't require you to drive a golf cart correctly on a golf course, you're fine.
Over for everyone besides Tim.
Yeah, I'm under.
The coin just going all the way, except for the Saints. Even the coin knew you want to go under on the Saints. The Falcons under. Easy game. Let's move on.
Like the over here.
No, don't. Let me save you some money on the old Atlanta Falcons.
But
guess who the hot team is for the 4th consecutive year? You know what? I look at them on paper. They're going to be really good.
Okay.
Guess what? They fucking suck.
I like Michael Penix Jr.
You love Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I like Kirk Cousins too. I don't know. I just think there's a ton of talent on this team.
You loved Richard B. Timbers when he was their quarterback.
I'm confident that this Atlanta team will.
Why would you? Better. Why? Okay, you can like them. Why would you be confident?
I just think
I can do it for you.
Go ahead, Jeff. Floor's yours.
I'll take over. Tag me in, Tim.
You're in.
Pat, don't yell at me, or at least let me finish until I get yelled at. I'll start this by telling you Atlanta Falcons win total ladder.
Don't say
the number 7.5. So we're taking 7.5.
No, it's 8.5.
Sorry, I had it early 7. We've played alt 8.5, alt 9.5, alt 10.5. This team last year, and you could say maybe they deserve this and they create their own luck. In the history of football, they might have been one of the most unlucky teams in the league. They had a quarterback when he wasn't throwing a league high 7 second half interceptions, unheard of. He was doing his best Chris Paul bounce pass impressions back there in Kirk Cousins. It is actually mind-boggling how their offense, for some of their efficiency numbers, like how few times they ever go 3 and out, how much they actually move the ball, they could not score. Mind-boggling. I know we got to put it on them. Obviously, in comes a quarterback who there's a floor, but we also saw the ceiling. And as long as he doesn't throw the ball away in the second half, this team will be fine. But the kicker, no pun intended, last year, no team faced better opposing kickers than the Falcons.
Yeah,
and they lost a few at the wire. 31 of 32 converted field goals, 11 of 11 from north of 50 yards. Well, the Falcons went like 5 and 11 from 50 yards. This is the year, baby. This is the year. It turns. Atlanta Falcons finally Get it right. I'm prepared to get yelled at, so do it.
I didn't realize that their strength of kicker was so bad.
But he makes a fair point.
Oh yeah, great point. How about this? Maybe they are poorly coached, and this is why they fucking suck. You know who didn't have a problem? The New Orleans Saints. Remember, they just blocked all the field goals. There is coaching that goes on here. Sideshow Raheem Morris might not be the best guy.
He makes a great point. The kicker point just helps to complement what he's saying about the bad luck. The Falcons just had a suite of really bad luck last year.
Maybe there's just one problem. Not any good.
That Bijan is, one of the.
They have a fantasy team, is what they have.
Well, but
unfortunately, they don't play real life football.
They're in the worst division in football, and
this is not the worst. The AFC South.
Yeah, that's fair. The worst division in the conference. I like Penix.
They played last year a slew of teams who simply exceeded expectations.
Now, is there a chance that they exceeded expectations on the record because they got to play the fucking Falcons who suck?
Maybe so. Maybe you're right. But I'm just they had the largest preseason Vegas win total of opponents. It was the largest differentiator working against them from what actually happened. That's just to add on to the luck conversation that Tim is agreeing with me on.
Every year, I get to hear the exact same case for the Falcons. You know what? Bet them to win the fucking Super Bowl.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. But if they were in the Final Four or in the Final Two of the NFC, I wouldn't be shocked.
Lost to Pittsburgh, lost to KC.
Playoff team.
Lost to Seattle.
Nearly a playoff team.
Lost to New Orleans. Lost to Denver. Lost to
playoff
the Chargers.
Team.
Lost
playoff
to Minnesota.
Team.
Lost to Washington and Carolina.
Playoff team. Look, you just rattle off a ridiculously hard schedule, and those are not divisional opponents.
Oh, no, that's who they lost. They beat Philadelphia. And here are the other games that they
beat
played.
The Buccaneers?
Yeah, they beat
that Washington loss gave me an aneurysm. It was late in the year on prime time. That Raheem, that's where Pat's right. This coach is just so goddamn.
That was
stupid.
A flex game, but we don't need him to be a Super Bowl champion.
Here are the teams that
11 games.
So they beat Philly in week 2 when we had that big argument when Parkway just should have made the catch and the game was over.
Okay, but
and they lost. They won by a point in week 2. So their best win was against Tampa Bay in week 5 in overtime. Their other quality wins from last year, because they're very good. The Saints and Carolina, teams they split with last year, mind you.
Divisional.
They actually beat Tampa twice.
Yeah.
Had their number. Dallas, Vegas, and the Giants. Real quality wins.
No, but a lot of quality.
Like when they beat Vegas 15-9.
It all counts. Anyway, you go ahead, take your under, but Jeff and I are on Team Atlanta.
The thing about this one is this lingers the whole season because Pat's making money on Bucks props, and it is just this is the one that actually nothing else in terms of who someone picked in the division really lingers much unless Tim picks the Bears to win the Super Bowl like he did last year. This one will though. This one will, and Pat will be allowed to throw egg on our faces,
or we'll be able to throw egg on his face.
No, because technically he's faded it 5 straight years. If this year clicks, he's still
so it's heads
it.
He wins, tails we lose.
But I've hit.
It kind of is. It kind of is.
Each of the past 2 years.
No, it kind of is tails he wins, heads he wins. It's kind of hard to fight Pat on it.
All right,
if he's going to double down on
The best is going to be when they only win 8 games, yet somehow win the division. You're like, I told you they were good.
Anyway, I believe in them. I think they're going to be good.
The Buccaneers are the last team we are covering in the NFC. 9.5 is their win total. -160 to make the playoffs. Plus 850. That's not correct to win the division. That's my doing. I was the one who made this cheat sheet. 15-1 to win. That'd be good, though. Plus 850 to win the division. I think that's what I had them at. I had them at 9-1 last year to win the division. When Atlanta was up by that insurmountable lead that they had. Super Bowl 30-1. 9.5's a lot. Here's the thing about the Bucks. Unless they play the Eagles every week, they're kind of a middling team. Just a middling team in this division is just very good. Tends to be the problem because all the other teams are terrible.
I like the over 2, by the way. I like 10 wins.
10 seems right. I'm right. I would not bet the win total this year. I find that you can tell what the Bucks are going to be. And that's what I was able to do last year was look at the rest of they had a very easy second half schedule. They were in a lot of these games. It's all right, if things just kind of break their way, this is going to work out. I'd rather bet them in season to do something, Geoff, rather than go for this. I'm going to go slight under on them to start the year.
If Todd Bowles can for 3 straight years, like if this Josh Grizzard is a head coach in 3 years, then Todd Bowles should be hired by an organization when he retires to find them good offensive coordinators.
I have a hot take on this because Canales we're in year 2 of Canales. He didn't really show me anything year 1. Like their offense was okay towards the end of the year. Great. Ice Cream Cohen now going to Jacksonville. People are like, oh,
it's all Baker? Is that the case?
Yeah. Maybe the answer is Baker Mayfield and awesome receivers.
Yeah. I mean, that's certainly
You could be right. Yeah.
It's definitely a strong point of it.
Like, who cares who is the offensive coordinator? We just have really good players, and let's do that.
Yeah.
And they got fun. The thing is, they've even continued to build out that receiving core. I know Godwin is probably hurt to start the year, but if Baker's just awesome and chucking it and having fun, like no one is surprised. That's actually what we're expecting, right?
Weirdly, the defense kind of sucks for Todd Bowles. You'd think that the defense would be better.
They've gotten older at some key spots, and yeah. I thought, I've probably been. There's probably not a team in the league I've been more wrong about historically than these guys. So their fans should just want me to pick under, so they'll go over. But I really did expect them to negatively regress last year, and they didn't. And I can only give them full credit.
So are you going over or under?
I'm just going to stick with the pattern and go under because I feel like I owe it to their fans to like underestimate them every year and then have them surprise me. It's almost like a thing I do now, and their fans who do listen to the show kind of expect it of me, so I'll do them that solid.
I'm worried about Chris Godwin. That Todd Bowles said if they made a deep playoff run last year, that Godwin would probably still be available for them. And now he's out the first 6 weeks of the season, probably.
Suggests that is probably just wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking, or somehow the injury got worse.
Or he was just going to try to gut it out because it was the playoffs.
Maybe, but it seems kind of shocking that he didn't come back, and now it's somehow worse than it was 8 months ago. That's not
positive.
Or
the rehab didn't go well. Or...
McMillan's already just got knocked out in week 2 of the preseason, so now they're relying on the rookie, Buga or whatever his name is.
And
Evans, who's 300 years old.
Yeah.
Tristan Wirfs is going to be out for probably the first 4 weeks of the year. Like they're going into the season injured. They could start the season behind the 8 ball pretty quickly.
If the Falcons could get up on them over 2 or 3 games, like then that might be too much. Be too much.
So your pick to win the division's Atlanta?
It is Atlanta. And it's Jeffrey's too with all of his ladder bets.
It is. It has to be.
Remember how well the ladder bets went last year?
Whatever.
I didn't ladder them last year they were like too chalky.
No, last year you laddered all of the Raiders unders.
Yes.
How did that work out?
Just yes.
One more year of this, you're gonna have to go to the fucking Church of Latter-day Saints, pal. Jeff's gonna be showing up to your door with a Sipowicz t-shirt and a tie, trying to tell you about some good news. Thank you for a courtesy chuckle. I'm picking Carolina to win the division.
That's a hot take, but I don't hate it. This is a good.
I don't think this division is good.
Yeah.
And when in Rome, just pick the plus 450.
Someone has to go worst to first every year. It happens every year.
Yeah, and this is the right type of division to do that in. Just like the AFC South is going to be the same thing. Just
I don't hate it.
Like the Titans could win the AFC South. I don't think that they are, but they could. Oh, they're already your pick, are they?
Cam Ward.
I have a few Titans fans who have messaged me privately already who are very upset about your Cam Ward takes.
Well, I'm sorry for what's about to happen.
So do we want to save the conference winner for the next show when we pick the Super Bowl matchup?
Whatever you'd like to do.
You know what? Let's do an NFC championship game for all of us.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Give us a week to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not completely decided on it. We'll do the conference championships and the Super Bowl picks as a part of the AFC championship show. That show will be short.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure that'll be a real tight one.
Oh, it's fun to be back. You don't seem happy to be back.
No, I am happy to be back. I'm just all the teams I feel most strongly about are in the other conference.
That's why.
Wait, you got the Jets double digits.
Maybe we'll see when it comes to it.
Yeah, we'll see how it depends on how they do in the hinge.
They have
week 3 preseason.
They have a very large range of outcomes, in my opinion.
Are you going to go with the best possible outcome?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. There's a lot of teams in the AFC I have feelings about.
The best possible outcome this year for the Jets is Justin Fields to be like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, just take off his face and he's secretly Patrick Mahomes.
That would be great. I agree. That would be best case scenario.
That's on the higher range of outcomes here.
That'd be great.
Here's the thing. I think he sucks.
It might be. There's a reason he keeps bouncing around team to team and got benched for, got benched for Russell Wilson last year. So I don't know. There's no promises. That's for sure.
Jeffrey, you do seem you have a pep in your step. I can hear it in your voice. Is that we're done with golf?
I am pretty happy to be turning the page on thinking about golf every Monday.
I don't think.
I'm phased. I'm telling you, I got this airstrike in is really phasing me. So yeah, I'm phased right now. It's like consuming my thoughts.
You don't think I could handle what?
A 3-hour show sitting down here.
We're gonna have to take breaks.
You might just have to do it from home.
No, I've committed to coming in. I think the show's better.
You get really angry towards the end of the show. You're talking less because you're so uncomfortable because you had to sit down.
Yeah, we need to consciously take a break after the corner.
Should we just get you a more comfortable chair for that corner?
I'd like that,
and we can just get you set up over there.
No, we'll just take a break and I'll be fine.
You seem very uncomfortable.
Yeah, in this particular chair after a couple hours, it's.
Should we get you a nicer chair?
Well, the answer to that, of course, is
can
yes.
you pick out a chair that you would like?
Just something nice. I don't know.
I thought I picked out one that was nice, and you hate it, so you need to pick it out.
No,
or is that too much of a hassle to ask you? Hey, Pat, you're going to pay for a chair for me? I can't pick it out.
Let's just take a break, and it'll be fine. I'll be fine.
How much do you need to walk it off? Break.
Don't you love going to a store where someone else is gonna buy? I see Tim this is an ideal. Tim gets go to a store, put his ass in a dozen chairs, pick the one he likes the most, and he just says, "Yeah, send the invoice to this guy and deliver it."
Nothing Cust enjoys more than living large on someone else's bill. Won't do it. Not that everyone wouldn't, but you just wouldn't do it for yourself.
Well, probably not. No.
Yeah. But this way you can do it. You can get a chair.
Anyway, I am glad that
you can get one of those chairs like Dinkmeyer has, where it looks like he looks like he's fucking Stephen Hawking in the chair. No, it looks like a wheelchair somehow.
I'm glad that we're back. I'm excited that we're back, but the NFC just doesn't have the firepower for me. Sorry.
So bet on Super Bowl winning conference.
Just
NFC.
Look, it's pretty conventional. Our conversation of San Francisco, Philadelphia, Detroit, a little bit of more fireworks in the South, but it's not super exciting.
Oh yeah, that AFC conversation of
the Jets are amazing.
I mean, I think I have a new winner of every single AFC division. So
who in God's name are you picking to win the AFC East? I gotta know. Not the minus 600 favorite.
Nope.
It's the Jets.
We'll come to
He's got them winning 11, so he doesn't have a team winning 12.
Yeah, well, he has the Patriots winning the division.
Not saying. Good SEO. Let's just say I have 4 new winners in the AFC East, or AFC. Sorry.
Do you think that's
picking the Raiders to win the division?
No,
he's picking the Chiefs, the Broncos.
He just said he's got all new.
All new.
Oh, so he's picking the Chargers.
We'll see.
So he's trying to curse the Chargers and Patriots all in one show. I think
we'll see what I do.
Pick. Don't just pick the Chiefs.
Nope. I might not pick the Chiefs to make the playoffs.
Really?
I think it's going to go bad.
Is this last time the Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl, you guaranteed Super Bowl hangover for them?
What happened?
Well,
they obviously went back to the Super Bowl.
No, they didn't. They lost to the Bengals and didn't go back to the Super Bowl.
They went to the title game. Sorry.
Well, that will do it. On the NFC Championship show, you should play in the Survivor League. That is down in the description right now. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Like I said, this is the appetizer. We got the AFC coming next week, but you need to sub to Mayo Media Network so you don't miss out. Okay, because Rob and Cam are back next week as well. Then we got the win totals draft. Then week 1 is here. I got my weeks mixed up. That you look like you're dying.
No, it's just week 1 is already here. Oh my gosh, it's too quick.
Is that good? Summer's over. The weather's changing. The sun is going on your schedule now, Tim.
I am delighted that summer is done, but at the same time, it's how can it be week 1 already? It just seems too quick. But
September 4th is the first game.
I know, but that
seems early.
It does seem early. Everything seems earlier this year, so it's a bit much.
Where's Jeff's favorite holiday? Labor Day, as he expressed earlier.
The 1st of September.
I support.
Really?
You wouldn't think, Pat.
You know what? I wouldn't. I thought you'd be like Farva. You know I'm not a union guy.
No,
yeah, that surprised me.
it is hard to not. I hate
CIO
that
Geoff.
I hate that I'm caught up in this.
In
But I
fa-
do support these. I do support the worker here. Screw Air Canada.
In fairness, whenever you see a union leader on TV, they all kind of look like Geoff. They have Geoff vibes. I don't mean that in the one way where people could misconstrue it. They just look like Geoff, but unshaven more.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I saw
of a
the guy
couple of
speaking
them.
today. Looks like he hadn't showered or shaved in fucking a week.
I haven't seen it.
I'm sure he's cleaning up his head of the union.
Oh yeah, they crush it.
Head of the union. Good job to have. Unless you're
Sorry, I support
the
the flight
50s.
attendants, but I hate the teachers' unions.
Who else do you hate?
Someone make a note. Another rival of Jeffrey's.
Well, Paul's gone. So no one's going to be trying. Jared, that's now on you to be tracking Jeff's biggest rival. Paul's not gone. He's not here today, but he's not going to be here during the season. So someone else needs.
And I trust Jared will actually be a much more fair arbiter of
Almighty,
justice.
it happens every single year.
No.
There's a litany of people against whom you have problems, and then we
Paul is now number one on the list.
we present
No,
you with this very
for not
fair
being
list.
fair and balanced like
And-
Geoff wants.
Every single time it's, I don't have a problem with these people. I don't have a problem with these people. I just have a problem with this other thing that I wish you thought I had a problem with. It happens every year.
Did I tell you I saw Fox News for the first time ever when I was in the States?
The first time ever?
Yeah.
Being in Mars?
I don't watch it.
Okay.
Bars? What bars?
No, Mars.
I don't really watch the news.
Okay.
But it was on in this like Greyhound bus. The media shuttle had Fox News on one day. It was terrifying. People are just, the crooked left Democrats are telling you, like, this isn't news. What is this? It really just shocked me. Like,
It's entertainment television.
I'm used to like people on CBC being like, here are the stories of the day, and just kind of like reading through them. It's like a newspaper type news, not just people yelling at me.
Well, that's what people want.
It was not what I was expecting to see at like 8 a.m.
Well,
is what I'll throw out there.
fair
A
enough.
lot of energy, which you think I would like because I like this show to have energy. But news was like a real stretch with what they were talking about. And then they had this guy on, and we couldn't figure out because it was then on at the bar later on. I mean, it didn't have sound. They had this guest who was seemingly an Instagram expert, but also a policy expert. He was like 78 years old. So I don't know how he was an Instagram expert. Because with his shot, it was lined up, but everything behind him was crooked. He was straight in the frame, but the picture on his wall was like this behind him. Could no one tell him that the picture was crooked? He's an Instagram expert.
I don't know what to tell you.
It was mind-boggling to me to see this happen. Anyway, I throw it out there. You guys are going to get some hate for this episode, so I know our hardcore viewers will come at me for that.
Yeah.
Let's get some of the heat off you guys. Paul, number one on Jeff's biggest rival.
Clearly.
For not being fair and balanced.
No.
Oh, no. See, another person that can't be on his list. No one can be on Jeff.
No one's a Geoff rival.
Paul, hear me out.
Except for the
Paul-
teachers union.
Paul, he does a great job, but when he quits the moment, he's determined who the winner is.
I don't know. Everyone was pretty much in unanimous agreement last year with who the winner was, except you.
Well, no, that could have been that was like an incident, and it was a top incident, but I mean, like a 30-second thing that never extended, for rivalry. That's, but hey, listen, it's all one, and I don't want Tim gets 15 categories.
All right, yeah. So next year we'll have Jeff's biggest rival, Jeff's best incident.
Yeah. Just most notorious incident.
That's a good one. Let's do that one.
I mean, already him yelling like a crazy person at Mark Davis is very high on the list.
Tell him great haircut.
Fair and balanced, fair and balanced.
Fuck off. I told you I loved you when I first saw you today. Now I'm telling you to fuck off on the way out.
That'll do it on the NFC Win Total Show. Play in the Survivor League, do the rest, and I will see you next time. That show really picked up steam after the first 20 minutes.
Mayo experience! Experience!